Got jealous. Somebody named Devon.
My next guest is a man that's going to put together some rules that'll make you want to move. Put your hands together for Mr. King.
Woo! We good? What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody, we working on the audio. Welcome to Birdland. It's your man here, king of all that's purple, king of all that's orange, king of everything, king of Brody Moore City. But right now, the king of Birdland. Yes, sir. And my man over here behind the boards, the night of the sound technical. I like calling him Sir Rock, but y'all might know him as DJ Rock. Now, yes. Get your shout out in there, Brad.
What's up, Troy?
It's all good, man. Hey, look, man, we are in a good position, man. Couple of things. Orioles are playing the first place team. They lost last night. That's okay. Lamar signed his paperwork. That's all right. But before we go there, man, we're gonna have fun with some generic. I'm hoping that we're hoping that the Steeler fan comes in here if she has the guts to come in. Woo! Is she coming in? You know they lost that case, man.
I know.
Ed Sheeran won his case against Marvin Gaye.
Not against Marvin Gaye, against the K family. Let's get it right.
Right. I think it was somebody else sued. I don't. But either way, that sounds like Let's Get It On, man. I'm telling y'all, it sounds like Let's Get It On. I hear it. I don't know how y'all don't hear it or the jury didn't hear it, but I definitely hear it. I was a little disappointed in that, but hey, that's how it goes. What's up, buddy? See you.
Bob needs a job. Bob really needs a job.
You need a job. Bob has two jobs.
He needs two more than.
Bob, I like you, Bob. Let me be real clear. I like it. Let me move this mic up. I'm sorry. Probably should have had that closer. You might have been part of the problem. Yeah, Bob. Do you need more work, Bob? Bob is working for the Baltimore Hollywood. Baltimore Hollywood.
He's a celebrity.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. We're going to see him at the Polak Johnny event, I'm sure.
When is that?
That is June 10th.
Give us the rundown of what's going to be happening there.
That is, if for Baltimore folks, got to be what, 30, 35?
35.
35 and older. Y'all remember, man, Polak Johnny's was a spot where you could get these Polish hot dogs that were great.
Yes.
Great.
The works.
The works sauce, man. You get the works on them. Johnny's going to have those boardwalk fries. Anyway, he is about...
What's the vinegar?
That's the way I like them. I like the vinegar first, man. I'm straight like salt, pepper, ketchup. You know what I mean? But is that the right answer?
Yes.
No one answer. We're gonna use that, man. But yeah, that's gonna be June 10th, grand opening. It's gonna be. We'll get you the exact address. I should know the address. If Bob's in there, you know the address. Bob's type it to us, and I'll say. But it's June 10th, and we give you more details about that. I think that's gonna start around noon.
Yeah, I think they said around noon.
Yeah, and you are going to be the celebrity guest contestant. One of them, anyway. And you're the only celebrity.
I ain't the only celebrity. That list was kind of long. I might be the bottom of the barrel.
Well, wait a minute. Bob says he turned 65. Bob turned 65 in 3 weeks. We need to get together before I move to Florida. You moving to Florida? Oh, and buy a golf cart. You can ride a
That
golf
means he ain't going nowhere.
cart.
That means he's going absolutely nowhere.
Man, a golf cart. Bob on a golf cart. Do you play golf, Bob? I need to know that too.
With gas prices being the way they are, we all need to get a golf cart.
Yeah.
Just keep it plugged in at night.
But where's the, depends on where you live, man. Like, your street too busy, man. You can't do no golf cart in your street. They don't drive well over there, man. Like, headed to the gas station or headed to, nah, man, I wouldn't drive on your street.
You would?
Your actual street, yes. But as soon as you get to
the end,
yeah. I see them running through stop signs.
If you gangster, you don't have a problem.
I don't know golf cart.
Problem.
You ain't gonna win, man. They'll know it's you. A couple of weeks, they'll be like,
my golf cart gonna be pimped out. It's gonna be orange and purple.
well, they're gonna know you. Well, actually, look, I'll be riding with you then if it's orange and purple, man. I'm all for that, man. Polak Johnny's the works. You in the contest, we still gotta work on that video.
I don't even care if I win or not. I just want to have my fair share of Polak Johnny's.
We should have gone. We gotta look for him today. We gotta call him. Maybe John.
Clay, do we have to eat the Polak Johnny's and the boardwalk fries in the contest? Because if so, I might only go through like one round. You know what I mean?
I think it's just one. I don't think you have to do
the Polak Johnny's and the boardwalk fries.
Yeah, the way I remember it,
it's just the sausage.
Yeah. I don't even think you have. I don't even think you do it with the bread. Are you ready? Are you ready for?
You my coach, so you gonna get me ready, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But you like the way you feel right now. You got enough time?
I'm good for 3.
You're gonna need more than that. You're gonna need more than 3. We got work to do.
Yeah, we got work to do. Hey Johnny, how a pregame so we can train like the week before? Give us all the Polak Johnny's we can eat so I can get my tolerance up. Special treat coming up today too.
Today, what's today?
Huh?
A special treat?
Yes.
What's the treat?
You don't want to tell the people what the special treat is?
You tell them.
Tell them.
Because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Because I would if I.
Special treat.
Are they on the phone?
No, not yet.
No, I'm gonna wait. Y'all need to stand by. We got a special guest that's gonna call in from out of town.
They don't want to tell the people who they are yet?
No.
Why we don't tell them who they are yet?
You tell who they are. You get the name. You gonna pronounce the name right?
I'm gonna pronounce the name right.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure the camera is on you. Go ahead and say the name. Go ahead. Look right there too.
Oh, look right there.
Yeah, right.
You want to go on good side?
They ain't no good side.
Oh. It's Tammi McDew.
And what did she accomplish?
She was inducted to the New Britain University Hall of Fame last week.
Was it last week?
Yes. It was week before last.
Okay.
It was week before last. It was in between last Tuesday and the Tuesday before.
Okay.
So sometime like 10 days ago. But she will be gracing us with her presence tonight, man. And that's major, man.
I'm looking forward.
American sister.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm looking forward to it. Hey, Shelly. Shelly just said, what's up? And Bob sent the address for the Polak Johnny's real quick. June 10th from noon to 5. Is that, you can eat for 5 hours?
I'm going to eat for 5 hours. Even if I got to take a 15-minute admission, like, listen. Free Polak Johnny's? Oh, yes.
That's right, man. And the winner, I don't know what you get. More Polak Johnny's?
I ain't even got to win. I already won when I was entered in the contest.
Yeah. That's going to be June 10th. And we will stream live. We'll do something up there. And that's at 7216 North Point Road, which is in Edgemere, Maryland. I'll give it one more time. 7216 North Point Road, Edgemere, Maryland. Shelly, it's Bob typed it right in the comments, right above your question. And we'll repeat it again. And what I'll do is I'll share it on the King Brody Facebook page. So all are welcome. They're expecting a lot of people. I think there'll be a lot of people there. If we can just get some great weather, that's all we need.
What's great weather?
If we had, like today would be perfect. Would you be happy with today?
I don't know, because when I came to work, it was raining.
Wait. Rain? Oh no, it's not raining. Now the sun's out. But it was raining this morning. Because I was gonna wash the car and I was like, and now it looks great. Like you could have rode your bike in today. You'd have been great. You'd have been all right.
Yeah, but it's raining. It was raining when I came to work.
Yeah. You don't want none of that.
Nah, no parts of it.
But shoot, it's gonna be awesome. What's up, Lanice? Just popped on. What's up, Lanice? How are you doing? Um, so let me say a couple of things before we get into the sports stuff. Um, birthdays this week. First birthday, give a shout out to Dennis Chambers. You know Dennis Chambers? Ever heard of him?
Yeah, drummer.
Yeah. And Baltimore's own Dennis Chambers, man. When you see a list of we see a list of greatest
Celebrities.
singers, greatest guitar players, greatest. So when you see like greatest drummers, he's always like every time I've seen maybe 10, and he's always in the top 10
Really?
of greatest drummers. Sometimes he's been number one a couple times, a couple of them that I looked at. But when I first saw it, I was just kind of looking at it. I didn't know who he was. I'm listening to Funkadelic live. I got a bunch of their stuff, and it was like Dennis Chambers on drums, and it was like, oh, wait a minute. And then one night, guy that used to be in our band, his name was Phil. Phil was our drummer. Me and him used to hang out. We would go to these open mic places. Dennis Chambers was sitting on drums.
Wow.
And Phil
That had to be a treat.
yeah, well, Phil said, you want to play with him? And I was like, he gonna play with me. He's like, it's open mic, man. And I'm like, you know him? I talked to him before. Phil was like, whatever. I'm thinking he just wants to jam or whatever. So I go up and I play with him, man. So look, my top two Baltimore people that I played with, Dennis Chambers and Mesa.
Mesa. Wow.
Mesa, man. So, but
You know I was there, right?
yeah, that's why I'm like, gotta put that out there because
You know I was hugging her, right?
I don't remember that part, man.
I got the picture.
Did she didn't press charges?
Not at all. She even allowed me to escort her to her vehicle.
You know how I know that's true. You know how?
Because she was standing next to me.
So I think it was me escorting, then you just kind of jumped in.
No, that's not. The memo said
Music was playing. The needle came off the record.
No.
From where
the memo said Mesa would like you to escort her to the vehicle. You was just a tag along.
You should about that. So I got the text. Next thing I know, and I didn't even know records could still scratch.
Do I
You was on.
produce receipts?
You sure? Because make a phone call. Interrupt trivia right now and get a live call in here.
Please do, because that's the person I was gonna call for receipts.
Yeah, she ain't gonna be on your side.
See, you don't know. I know what she said to me.
Shelly and Lanice, we're gonna get both of them in here.
I know.
But yeah, man, that was a big deal for me, man. Little did I know. Also, another birthday. Mike Cuellar, you know who that is?
No.
Mike Cuellar used to pitch for the Orioles from Cuba. Pitched for the Orioles, and what stands out for me is in 1971, the O's had 4 20-game winning pitchers, and he was one of the 4. So it was Jim Palmer, Pat Dot. Mike Cuellar?
Yeah.
He had an uncle that played for. It could be. Look now, I'm because you comment under the picture. Oh, I'm gonna have to bring that up. So he definitely an Oriole Hall of Famer. I don't know. I don't believe he's in
the MLB Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't think he's in that. But I could be wrong. I didn't look that up because of the 4 pictures that I did in home. But we'll see, man. So give a shout out to him. Yes, he said O's up 3-1 in the 4th inning. Y'all playing against Tampa Bay. They need to win. It's a 3-game series. We lost the first game. We need to win tonight.
Tonight and tomorrow. We need tonight and tomorrow.
Yes. And then that'll. Oh shoot, I got disconnected. We're back. We're back. Okay. Somehow I got disconnected, man. From my I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi.
No, it ain't the Wi-Fi.
Shoot, no, meaning my connection. Do it one more time, man. One more time. You need to go, so can I hear right on? That's where they got when you hear they play So Beautiful, Don't You Agree? Everybody thinks that came from Eddie Murphy and Coming to America. That's Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's right. That's who said it first. And Bob is letting me know that Jim Palmer was the only one in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
From the 4 20-game winners. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate that. Hopefully the audio sounds okay. Nope. I was playing with the buttons and nobody said anything, so we must be good. Um, Philip Bailey, man, from one of the baddest bands ever. I say one of the top two for me. But that voice, I got a question for you. Before we get in, y'all hear that guitar? Let me hit the high note. I just say, oh, and our music book, that don't look. I got a song for you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, look. I can hit the notes like him. Dudes that have high voices like that, man. Give me your top five. I caught you off guard. I'm gonna give you my top five real quick. Philip Bailey, number one. The rest I'm not putting in any particular order. All right, Philip Bailey. Then
Maxwell.
let me think about that.
Keep going.
Eddie Kendricks from the Temptations.
You going old school? All right, go ahead.
Prince.
Definitely.
I was gonna say Prince. He just kicked into my head just now. Prince.
Definitely.
Smokey Robinson. Dude, shop around. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
A falsetto?
Hell, Smokey had. Smokey ain't got no other. That's all he got. She says El DeBarge.
That was definitely on my list.
El DeBarge. What about
His brother.
Oh shit! Just say DeBarge. The whole damn family. None of them got no.
Chico really wasn't there though. Chico wasn't there.
Now, would you put Michael Jackson in it? He only had falsetto, he had a high voice, but it wasn't really.
That's because he had no testicles.
Well, that's the. Oh, none of them either. And I question the rhythm of the sister. But anyway, she had that Whitney rhythm. It wasn't all that great. Oh, wait a minute, let me let y'all ain't missing out on my man's comment. How about that? Let me think about that. And I've seen him live too. He can get up there. Does he? Is that what he does? Can we explain that we're apart? Man, when he does, and I promise y'all we're gonna get to sports, but either we talk about food, we usually cover something. It's another thing. Speaking of food, Yale was supposed to come in today. Yeah, but now he might be en route. I ain't gonna say anything yet because he hasn't called.
Right.
He usually calls it at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Last week I was like,
we trying to hold on.
Next week I said, we can call us at 7:15, and then next thing I hear you go, I'm not supposed to be answering the phone. And that's actually, I think that's actually recorded. But anyway, man. All right, we're gonna bounce back and forth with singers. But let me say something real quick. I'm gonna cover some Orioles stuff and I'm gonna cover some Ravens stuff. Since the Orioles are playing, we're gonna bounce back and forth with them. Because I'm starting not to like Oriole fans too. I can see that's because they're winning. You know what I mean?
Right.
When they're doing well, when the Orioles were terrible, we were all in agreement. It was like, look, we just won. Can he just break 500? Can we just have a game that means something in September? Can we just, that's all we wanted was just to be mentioned. Now everybody's feeling like we can make the playoffs this year. I feel that way. I feel that we can make the playoffs. And I feel like we're going to be good for a while. So I'm there. But now I hear people, and this is where it comes in, where people start making crazy suggestions. People we should trade so we can get this and we can get that. And the name that upsets me the most is when they talk about Jorge Mateo, man. That's my favorite player, bro. I say it every week. And they talk about, well, if we trade him, why are you trading him? We're strong. We're strong on third base, shortstop. That side of the field, we're in good hands. Gunner, Mateo, we're looking good. And I think defensively, we're gonna have one of the best defenses. I think it's just a matter of time. They got to click in lock in our outfield. Our defense is going to be fine, and our hitting's going to be fine. Got to get our pitching better. But we've lost 3 in a row. Close games, man. One swing of the bat, and we win. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they just been close, and it's just like when you want to get the Braves. The Braves are doing well. You want to get Tampa, especially because they're in first place. You want to gain some ground, and it's early. I get it. It's not like football. You know what I mean? 4 weeks in, you're 1-3 in week 4. You're worried. You know what I mean? So that is not the case for us, even though if the season were to end today, I'm not even gonna go there. It's too early for that. But I feel good about the O's, man. And we still got players. We still got John Means, who hopefully will pick up where he left off. And we got our our minor league system is looking really good, man. We got our future looks bright.
So who's feeding us, Bowie or Frederick?
I think get anybody. You know what I mean? I think, and this is where I struggle because I have not gone to a Bowie game. I've not gone to that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to Ripken Stadium. I've gone up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice stadium. Stadium. I've seen Frederick Stadium.
Okay.
You've seen Bowie.
Yes.
Have you been there? Have you been to any of those?
No, but I've seen it. I've been past it several times.
Yeah, it's easy. It stands out.
Yeah.
It stands out. And then the one off 90, the show earlier that was on earlier today. It was doing that. It was going in and out for some reason. I wasn't here then. What's the problem? Your hamster wasn't running on that wheel. You didn't feed him. Anyway, y'all see him. Let me talk to y'all for a second. Y'all see how Rock acts up, man. You see how he shows off. I just want to know if y'all understand that what I have to go through. I try to put together a good product for y'all, and then Rock has to sneak in his comments. It ain't right, y'all. All right, back to the show. You back on camera now. I had to mute something. Anyway, Rock. You know, Edison.
To do that all over the country?
Who?
Cal Ripken. Wasn't he supposed to mirror each major league stadium in that city and make a minor league stadium as a replica of that stadium?
I never heard that. When did you?
When he first did, because that one is a mirror image.
Let me make sure I record this too. I'm gonna need this for later. It's a proof that you been acting up. He just popped up.
And so did Yale.
You're supposed to be here. Him licking his fingers already. What you, Yale?
Sitting in my house.
Such a disappointment.
Mm.
We had hopes for Yale at one point in time.
Yeah, I was expecting Yale to be here, so I hadn't downloaded your picture because I'm like, I thought I put the camera right on you.
Is anybody else for it?
Yes. You wouldn't know if he was there.
I'm sitting right at the screen. I don't see nobody but Troy and me.
Because I only got this camera 3 and there's a side view over there. I'm like, they haven't been introduced yet. I'm trying to bring everybody on together. So I can wait.
Okay.
You can see 20 minutes.
No, I can't. I'm not feeling my best today. I'm drinking Gatorade right now. Not feeling.
You came to work.
That's probably why I got sick. You were coughing all in my ear last week.
Oh. Yeah, man, sure you need to come up your screen, man.
Yeah, we're gonna ban you for a couple weeks, man, because our listenership is dropping because of you. Since you and Phil had y'all little spat, Phil ain't been back on since.
I did have a Phil request today.
You're in a tutu, that's all.
Well, he lost a loyal listener because you wanted to beat up on him.
Because you was on the air, but Phil was like, "That's a sound effect." He had nailed it. When I came on, it was
He's asking you.
Hey, plus that's supposed to come out Thursday, man. So you're trying to go to games away games?
Yeah, I'd like to go to the game in LA. depending on when the date is. And I want to go to the Bayou Classic this year, so I got to figure out what we're.
as soon as it comes in. So might as well. The Queen just popped on, and oh wait a minute, and then I don't know why it's so choppy. Wink. I think it has to do with the Wi-Fi, but anyway,
I don't, because everything on my side is stable.
right. But as you can see, the people that are not on your side are actually coming. Trivia champion. The Queen is a trivia champion. All right, Queen, give me a question. Give us a question that right now you got the three of us. We will answer for you. There's another ring and ring. Give us a question. So we're gonna see what that's all about. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Hey, do me a favor, Yale. Do you have the away games where you can see them? Wait a minute, I might have. I don't know what you're trying to.
Do.
Actually, I posted a picture of it. I think I got it. All right, so the away games you said. All right, it's 49ers, Arizona, Jacksonville. You already been to Jacksonville, right?
I've never been to Jacksonville.
Oh, but we don't know what game it is. Jacksonville could be in England somewhere. We don't even know where that's going to be.
Yeah, it could be our game.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is an away game. Yeah. Tennessee, that's where your boy is. Oh, no, he's there. Yeah, is he still in Japan?
Nah, but he will be there.
Okay. Tennessee, DJ
Diamond.
Barry D. Or is it Diamond B? I don't know
Nah,
what.
it's just DJ Diamond.
All right, I need to give him a name. Oh, well, yeah. See, whenever you pop the question, we are ready. I just got to get this information. So 49ers, Arizona, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Los Angeles, and then, of course, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. And the only reason I would go to Cincinnati is because Bootsy's restaurant, but since it's closed, there's no need to go to Cincinnati. All right, she gradually typing the trivia question. We are waiting for that. I think Yale is ready. I think.
As long as it's not about baseball.
It wouldn't be sports at all.
Again, Lady Barrington is always not baseball.
We do have one baseball question for you, Yale. A question of Mike Cuellar is your uncle? Because he's from Cuba. He's from Cuba. And we so we're just trying to verify. Look, he caught that one, right? Oh man. All right, what you said that's your guy. What I saw your comment.
I do. I used to love when Mike Cuellar was pitching.
Did you? Oh, wait a minute. Here's a question. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. She says NCAA champion coach Don Stanley was a three-time Olympic gold medalist and the NCAA all-time steals leader while a student in what college? So I'm assuming that's baseball again. We back to baseball.
Temple.
I'm gonna give you four. It's a choice of four. Connecticut, University of Connecticut, University of Tennessee, University of Maryland, University of Virginia.
Did you four again? Because I would say right now it wasn't Connecticut and it wasn't Maryland.
Okay, the two are Tennessee and Virginia. Let me give y'all. Do 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 do.
I'm gonna go UVA.
You think Virginia? What you think,
I
Rob?
don't remember her playing for that.
I don't have a clue.
For what's her name?
All right, let me take that in.
I'm gonna go UVA.
Troy, the comments for whatever reason they're saying the Rock Meg Nation page is solid. The the King Brody page is where the problem is.
What do you mean?
So you need to fix what you got going on over there.
No. They're not saying the page. They're saying, oh, okay.
I'm reading the comments now.
Okay.
I'm looking at the comments now. They left the King Brody page and came over to the Rock Meg Nation side.
Okay, well they're answering here, so okay, I guess. What I'm saying is, it's saying it's losing a signal. So if it's the computer, which I just bought a week ago, so you can't say that that's old. But okay,
So do you know how things work, Troy? See, you got a $3.50
Oh, here we go.
computer.
Let me put the camera
And
on here.
you wanted to do 35 different things.
No, it's only doing one thing. It's on Facebook. That's all it's doing. Because like I said, I was at home.
I'm on the Rock Nation page, and I don't see a feed.
You don't see a feed at all? Well, nobody's saying anything.
I'm sitting here looking at the comments from Shelly and Wink now. Shelly wants to know what the question was.
Tell us the question.
I didn't hear the question because I was trying to troubleshoot your stuff over there.
Okay, this is where the lie comes in. How you troubleshooting mine when you aren't connected to mine?
Because you said it was the Wi-Fi. I'm trying to make sure you had a stable connection.
Anyway, did you get that computer from Ahmed? Oh, I'm not even messing with you. All right, the question again. Can Shelly hear? She can hear me, I guess, on yours. It is NCAA champion coach Don Stanley was a 3-time Olympic gold medalist and the answer. You got the answer?
My guess is UVA.
Okay. And she has the all-time steals leader. Oh, steals. Steals while a student in what college? When I heard steals, I'm thinking baseball, but I forgot you could steal in basketball. My bad. Awani's got tick, tick, tick. Bob says UVA. Yale says UVA. Oh, she says correct. Virginia. You're right, Yale.
Yeah, because I don't remember playing for Pat Summitt. A lot of Pat Summitt's players are known for playing for Pat Summitt. Mm-hmm. I know she didn't play for Maryland. Maryland didn't have a basketball team until very recently.
Really?
I mean, they had a team, but they weren't any good until recently.
Okay.
And then what was the fourth option you said?
Wait a minute. Connecticut, Tennessee.
She didn't play for Gino. Gino, whatever his last name is, would have known that for him too. So I remember her in the Olympics. I remember her playing overseas. And I knew she was I knew she was born in Philly, so I assumed Temple. But out of those options that you mentioned, I would have to say UVA.
Okay. By the way, Queen says she won the first round, so I get to watch the other folks try to reach my level. And Queen, let me know, are you listening? Are
you phoning a friend?
No, she was saying what she already got right. But to me, since it was multiple choice, I don't even know if she got that one right. Because she's not sports. Other than the Mets, and I mean the 86 Mets, not the Mets in general, just that year. The Darryl Strawberry year.
Right.
So she knows all about them.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if her quoting sports like that at all.
Oh.
At all.
He's married to you?
Hey.
Grounds for divorce.
Well, I can't.
That situation.
Nah, because she'll roll, like her team, like she used to like the Orioles, but it's like, nah, now that the Mets are coming here and all that stuff, so it's all Mets shit now. But
ask the Queen. I want to know how the Queen is following El DeQuantrell on IG. How does she know El DeQuantrell?
Queen, I don't know if you can hear that. Say it again. El Quantrell.
LLELE, the Quantrell.
The Quantrell.
Yes.
Queen, we're trying to figure out. Oh, she said later, y'all. We're trying to figure out how are you following El the Quantrell on IG. We need to know what's up with that. I'm assuming, and then we try to catch it before we start another game. Anyway, Bob is on a roll there. We're gonna leave him alone.
What Bob say?
Bob is just he's rambling on and on. He's already messing with my computer. We gonna leave him out of it. Oh, let me get the camera back off you, man. You ain't showing off anymore. I just need to leave it on you when you're showing off. And it'll tell him what's gonna happen with the Steeler person. Anyway,
did the Steeler person show up?
They outside. They upstairs, I guess. So we waiting. You got a chance to come in.
I'm telling you, I'm not feeling that. I shouldn't be too far away from the house right now. I'll leave it at that.
I take your word for it.
Hey, yeah, we'll catch you next weekend. We'll catch you next week, Yale. You got an excuse. Absence.
No, Bob says, Bob says he's willing to start a GoFundMe for
To
Yale.
buy Troy a new computer?
No, he says for Yale to go to some away games.
Why Yale? We're the talent.
Because Bob is great. That's why.
That's like a +1.
And Bob, you are going to be at the Polite Johnny's thing, right? You coming too, right, Yale? Did you say that?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be there definitely.
All right.
To cook some sausage for real.
Oh, we're going there.
I'm just saying. Is Johnny gonna have any like the Polish kielbasa there? You know what I mean?
Is that Polite Johnny? Talking about Polite Johnny's, though, are you?
Yes.
What Polish kielbasa are you talking about? I thought they only had one. I don't remember.
Nah, you had like 3. You had a regular hot dog, then you had the big Polish, and then you had like the kielbasa like kind. You know, I wouldn't even use like a savior.
I thought one was all beef. Didn't you have an all beef one?
Right, that was the big one. You know, and then they had like the kielbasa kind of one. It was like 3 different types you can get.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be
great graphic, Troy. What city is that? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's rotating back and forth. I think it was ballroom, but it rotated too fast.
My understanding is,
Right now, look that good,
bro. It's University of Maryland, somewhere on the edge of the harbor, somewhere.
Yeah, because when it pulls back, you can see Pier 6.
All right, man, I'm impressed. Look, I'm sitting here just trying to figure out how to work this thing. Look, and then
Good drone footage, though.
yeah, that's what it is. That's why I'm like, so with your picture, see, right now your picture should be. Wait a minute, let me just give you an example real quick. Y'all just bear with us for a second. We playing real quick. See,
I can't hear what we doing.
you should be sitting there camera 3. No, they can't hear because the Wi-Fi cuts off. That sounds more like paying the bill to me. But okay, we're gonna pretend.
Stuff on my side of the room works.
No, actually, it wasn't.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You know.
Can't wait to meet you either.
See, it's clearly working. That's Yale. Yale's supposed to be sitting right there.
Right where?
Right where that. Look, I'm gonna make that's gonna be your camera angle, Yale.
Okay.
So
as long as I got a booster, so I can be seen.
All right, I'm gonna leave it. Look, I'll leave the 3 of us there. So that'll represent you in this part of the conversation.
Can we get an update on the O's game?
Yeah. Score, Yale. Either way.
You want me to turn it on?
No.
Never mind. Can't you just hit Google, man, and type in O's. Don't actually go turn to the game and see footage. Y'all have to watch out. We're now relying on this man right here, Yale Beverly. Right there.
Where's Shelly at? Shelly would keep us on point.
Yes, please.
42 O's.
Yeah, because I was actually at dinner at Texas Roadhouse in Columbia last night, and they had the O's game on.
What?
Well, now that explains a lot.
That explains why they lost.
Either.
Right, exactly.
I feel like that's your punishment for going without us.
It was really last minute. I really hadn't planned on it, but I was hungry.
You said the one in Columbia? I've been there. I've been there. I like that one. I like that.
Me too, but you know what? They blew me away because I sat down at the bar and ordered a Natty Bow, and they said, "Oh, we're not serving Natty Bow anymore." Like
Yeah, did you take a seat on the saddle and they sing happy birthday to you?
done that. I've done this for my birthday.
You said that, didn't you? Or did somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to sit on the saddle for my birthday. I like that. I get loud. I tell people in the back, I don't see you singing.
All right, well, look, I'm gonna do something real quick. And since you on here, yeah, let's go Ravens real quick, man. I watched. Did you watch the press conference with Lamar? Yes, like and no. That's a weird yes. Like all yes.
Yeah, yes. I watched Lamar's press conference, and I watched Eric DeCosta's interview on the Ravens site earlier today.
Oh, there was. I didn't know there was one today. Okay, I didn't see that one. So, can you enlighten us with what he said today? Anything different?
So here's the thing that EDC said today:
Okay.
that the DeAndre Hopkins to Ravens move was a smokescreen. It
Mm-hmm.
was never the plan.
Okay.
He was never coming here.
Okay.
He also said to prove the point of people not knowing and whatever they were saying, he said no one really knew, but pretty much everything was decided as far as Lamar on Monday for the draft. They held that information until Thursday morning for Lamar to make the announcement, but they already had it set up by Monday. So all that stuff that was coming out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's still people speculating. They were all wrong. He mentioned team, which was good to hear, that the decision to not exercise Patrick Queen's fifth-year option had nothing to do with the way Queen is playing or their dissatisfaction with him. They thought he was having a career. He was having a career year before Roquan was signed, and it just took off after Roquan was signed. But the hit was a business decision, so they're going to try to do an extension for him after this year when it'll be a better financial situation. But they acknowledged that with King and Roquan, they had one of the most dangerous defenses in the league and the best linebacking core in the league.
So he did. So he did admit to the Ravens doing what it is possible to keep him here after this year.
Again?
He did confirm that the Ravens are going to try to keep him here after this year.
Yeah. They want to do long term with it.
Same situation with OBJ, but nobody want to say anything about the little light skin in the corner. Wouldn't want to give him a long term contract.
I would want him to have a long term contract if it's a contract that he can maximize. Like if they give him a contract like they gave Steve Smith, I'd be happy with that.
Yes.
Which was
like
wasn't a lot of money,
but it was like only for 3 years,
and it was a 3-year deal.
Yeah, 3-year deal. I'm like that. I'm happy with that. And he can retire as a Raven.
Cool.
OBJ. Yes. Think about it. If we give him a 3-year deal, that puts him here 4 years. The only other team that remotely come close to him staying there longer would have been the Giants.
The Jets? No, where he stayed longer?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is Ijama Fulton?
Trying to figure. I'm trying to.
I'm just fooling. I think that's Bob making a joke.
I was gonna say it. I'm trying to get the imagine.
I'm just fooling.
He just got struck out.
Oh Lord! Just to let y'all know what we're talking about, Bob says he had dinner last night with we think it's Amaja Fullen, and he said some big name receivers signing with the Ravens this week.
Yeah, and Wink said one of them is Antonio Brown.
Hell with that. We've been wrong. Look, let me say this part real quick. So even at that point, he knew he was going to be on the team, and then it just to me it just screamed when they said, "Well, Lamar's unhappy because he said he requested a trade," and let's be honest, we're all thinking they put that. They just was like, it's going to take some time. It just hasn't happened yet. Nobody sounded disgruntled. I'm just happy that it got done. What you think about that? You too. What you think, Rob?
I knew it was going to happen all along. I never doubted it.
Mm-hmm.
I never doubted it, man. I got upset over the fact that so many people was bonding to the nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So many people talking about, oh, Lamar's going to be gone. There was no way in hell they was going to let that boy leave the city.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't. Mm-hmm. The city and be replaced by who?
I'm just fooling. I'm just fooling. Oh my goodness.
So I'm upset about that. And then like the conversation you and I had, I think it might have been yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It just supports what I say over and over again. I really enjoy Tuesday nights. I enjoy the conversations we have because I know I'm having a conversation with bona fide sports fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so even when you have your Winks, your Phils, and they're speaking against the Ravens, I can take that because they're speaking from a perspective of football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hate having conversations with people that knows absolutely nothing about football. You know what I mean? And they want to have a conversation to be relevant, and they're basing their conversation off of something they may have heard somebody else say, and they clearly don't understand what they heard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they want to speak it like it's gospel and present it like they know something. Hell out of here, man.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that's kind of funny. The Costa said today in relation to that. You know, the report came out yesterday or last night. Jeremy Fowler said that had the Ravens not signed Lamar, there was a possibility they were going to draft Will Levis out of Kentucky. And I called bullshit on it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And DeCosta said they ranked the board. He ranks all the players, and he has them on his board. He gets input from everybody, but he's the one that ranks all the players on the board. And he said he did say that they had quarterback in their top 32 players, which makes sense because how many teams are there in the league? Well, 11. If Lamar hadn't signed on Thursday morning, he basically said it's bogus because no one else would have had that. No one would have had access to that information. Plus, as he said, Lamar, they had already pretty much had everything lined up on Monday. They just held it till Thursday. So there was never any danger of them drafting a quarterback in the first round, let alone anybody's Will Levis.
Somebody
wanted. I really think Will Levis is going to be the next Carson Wentz. But if anything, the media made more of the Lamar deal than the Ravens ever did.
Yes, because the Ravens on Lamar never said anything.
Right.
Right. And I told you all last year, and they confirmed it in the press conference. They were almost set to do a deal with Lamar last September.
Mm-hmm.
They were close. And then Kyler Murray got his deal, and the Ravens asked for more.
Or do you think that's what?
I believe it to a degree, but DeCosta said in the press conference with Lamar, you heard him say, it really didn't have much to do with the deal.
Told you, hold on a second.
Hold on 1 second, yo.
Call from.
Well, how come we don't know who it is?
We do know who it is. They're both there now.
Hello?
Why? Before you say it, I have a question. When I listen to other shows, like the host, like the person knows who's calling.
You the host of the show. It's your guest. You were supposed to know who your guest is.
The first person that called was Yale.
Yeah, it wasn't your guest.
But you
knew you was going to call.
See, my boy is short.
How many weeks in a year do you call a show?
Pretty much every, unless I'm out of town.
So, truly, why would you expect Yale to call?
What I actually said was, because you're real good at diversion, but it don't work with me. What I actually said was, when somebody calls, right? So we had a guest that was calling in, right?
Yes.
Yale called first, right?
But Yale on Tuesday.
Did you hear my question? No, because I didn't get to it yet. My question is, Yale called on it. I don't even know what you just said. I need English or this no Edmondson lingo. I need
at 7 when we was on the air. Did we not tell the people we had a special surprise? And you said you wanted to hold their name. You didn't want to disclose their name, and then we did give them their name, right or wrong.
Why are you asking me stuff that I actually participated in?
So again, you was expecting this call from our special guest.
Yes.
Okay. So why are you looking like I'm trying to throw you under the bus?
That's not what I said. What? We're gonna do it right now because you're trying to cover yourself and it ain't really necessary. You wrong. Why are you so animated? Where was this energy when Yale was here and Phil was here last week? Where was this energy? He's my guest before she hang up. And look, I see you baby feet just kicked in too. Baby feet. Baby feet gonna make the lights go out. Let me get back to the phone. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, thank you.
She is. Shelly is very, very special. That's not what I said. See, Troy is trying to throw salt in the wound.
Say what you said.
I said Shelly's not a special guest.
Okay.
Shelly is very, very special to the show. And more than one occasion, we have acknowledged Shelly and given her flowers on this show.
From Dallas, Texas.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
Hey, Jacqueline.
Oh, Lord.
Over there, man.
Yes, hang with. Yes.
They went from Alamo.
Real.
Your first name, because I think I'm trying to butcher your last name. Can you give us your last name also?
You?
You don't have to give the government. You ain't gonna do that.
The government. I can give the government.
Okay. If I butchered. Okay, if I butchered your last name by any chance, I'm asking for forgiveness. Okay.
Sorry?
If I butchered your last name when I was speaking about you earlier in any form or fashion, I am apologizing. I'm asking for your forgiveness. Chance and took time out and gave you a shout out, and she mentioned your accomplishments, and we're really, really proud of everything that you did in your accomplishments. So we wanted to take a segment.
Do we have a Yale graduate here? Or is that what
No, he just looks like a bulldog. Don't listen to him. Carry on, Tammy. What college did you go to?
I went to Odessa College in Odessa, Texas, and then I transferred to Missouri State University.
All right.
Formerly known as Missouri State.
All right. Yale over there. His name is Yale. That's why he's acting up in the background there.
Let's see what he's doing.
Yes.
Oh.
I can't be mad.
Tammy, the deal is Yale University was founded by Elihu Yale, whose birthday was April 5th, and my birthday is April 5th, and I was not named after him at all.
Why
it's one of those amazing coincidences. I was named after a football player, Yale Larry, who played for the Detroit Lions and went into the Hall of Fame in 1980. Johnny Unitas.
Yale, I bet he was named after the actual founder of Yale. So eventually,
Yale was a British name, and Yale Larry was the Jewish guy, so I don't think so.
All right.
Anyway, Tammy.
There you go. Little known or cared about history moment.
Well, I'm sorry, Tammy. Please continue.
Probably the first female track and field athlete that's a state champion or two-time state champion. That was pretty dope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Javelin and chocolate.
Oh, it's
I won the shot in javelin my junior and senior years.
The distance. Your longest distance.
Okay, the javelin I threw about 138 feet, and the shot I threw just under 40 feet, so like 39.8. In high school.
Wow. Let me ask you, how long did it take you to develop the shot put technique? Like I've seen a little bit of everything when people are first starting out. Is that something you picked up right away?
Well, it was something that no, and to me that was hard. He had boys. So like fast enough to sprint. I was fast, but not fast enough to be a sprinter. And I didn't want to try to shot put. So the first time I picked it up, I kind of just punched it out there like 27 feet. And we just happened to have like this world class coach. He was German, and he taught me how to throw. Like he taught me javelin technique. I saw a lot of black women that know how to throw javelin, so that was pretty dope. So like, he was really, really mean. We were terrified of him, but I mean, he taught me how to throw. So I mean, I got scholarship out of the deal. And the significant thing is, he was also my dad's coach in high school.
Wow. Generational.
Yeah. Wow.
So what are you currently doing now?
I am teaching, and I have actually I just finished coaching. I just kind of retired coaching, so I'm coaching a high school, just like high school in Dallas, or Mesquite. She's just outside of Dallas. Coaching cross country, and the last 8 years.
Wow. And the little birdie told us that y'all been to the big dance twice in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah. I'm over the dance now. So, my first couple of years, I had the fastest girl in the country, and we won the state championship in the 4x1 relay, and I ran a U.S. number 9 in U.S. history, number 9. We ran like 44.9 in the 4x1, which is insane.
Oh, no.
How many kids have you sent to school? How many kids have you sent off to college?
I probably sent 11 to D1 schools. I sent 2 to D2 schools and 3 to NAI.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely impressive.
Yes. Did you ever think about trying to get to the Olympics?
No, that was never a dream of mine. Like collegiately, I just wanted to get my little old free degree and do my thing, and then roll on out. I wanted to be a business economist. I don't know how I ended up teaching and coaching, but here we are.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Hall of Fame ceremony and tell us what it was you were feeling when you was going through this whole process?
Yeah.
Hey, what was the part of that question?
Tell us what it was you were feeling while you were going through this whole process.
Okay, so I have to be honest about this. So the ceremony was pretty cool because we had like I said, there were like the largest class, and I didn't really know anybody. I knew one person because his sister was my teammate. So I knew him, and no one else that was being inducted had no idea. So I decided I was going to just kind of not read about them, but there was an MC, and he was kind of reading everybody's bio as opposed to us kind of giving little individual speeches. So I decided I'm just gonna listen to his bio, and that's how I'm gonna learn about all these people. Now, there were a couple that kind of looked like they were hoopers, which they were, meaning the other 2 females that were on the panel. So I just kind of listened to it, and it kind of made it a little bit more special. So it was like, y'all, all of them scholarship offers, that's dope. So I just happened to be sitting next to the dude that was going in for Yale. Like he played running back at Yale, and he's like Ivy League's top leading rusher or whatever. So they were playing, you asked me what I was thinking while I was doing it. They were kind of playing a little bit of music. I was like, yo, let's supposed to get our own theme song. I'd have had a little Meg Thee Stallion, yo. It was really cool. While he was reading everybody's bios, and we were just sitting there cracking up about that. And I was tripping off of his accolades, and he was like, "Oh, I did all of that." So it was kind of cool. So that's what was going through my mind while we were Christmas break. And so found out Christmas break, they actually had like a meet and greet, like a breakfast for us. Maybe about a year and a half ago. But I live kind of far, so they didn't really expect me to go. So my brother kind of went in for me. And everybody else met one another that was able to get there. And then we did it last weekend. So that salad is going to shout out to Paul Thomas on that salad. It was dope.
Wow. You know, Timmy, what I would like for you to do, everyone that you're speaking to right now are avid sports fans. So we knew the magnitude of you getting into your high school Hall of Fame. For those that's not abreast on how important that was, can you kind of give them like the Cliff Notes version of the accomplishment that you made in being inducted to the Hall of Fame in your high school?
Okay. Yeah. So trophy case. So it's kind of yeah. I guess we were kind of going through the motions. Like at the time, I didn't realize the magnitude of what I was doing. I was just out there having fun with my friends. Here, what I never told my teammates was we could have won, but I found like the furthest throw in the discus, and we would have won our state championship. Of course, I don't know that unless they listen. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was also the student class president. I was president of the African American Club. I played the saxophone. I was in the band. I was in the orchestra. I played the violin. So, like I said, when I was going through all of that, I didn't realize the magnitude of what I was doing. I was just kind of hanging out with my friends, and when it's time to compete, like I don't say anything about that. Like went into a whole different zone. Let me go game and get this done. What was?
The students that you currently coach, do they understand what type of athletic career you had?
Really, no, because I'm not one of those people that. Okay, let me just give you this. So, if you date somebody and they were an athlete, and they find out you were, then they like to give you their whole litany of their skills. Like, I don't know if this is a guy thing, but it's super annoying to a chick. Like, sometimes you can't pull them out of high school and they're like 64. Like, what are you doing? We don't talk about, oh, I was great in high school. Like, I don't ever really have a reason to tell them that unless I'm trying to prepare them for something next level. And I'm like, look, I've been there. This is what it takes. And then I'll kind of give them a Cliff Notes version, but I never really talk to them about that unless they specifically ask. And I feel like I like the lesson.
So happy Mother's Day, because Mother's Day is this weekend. Now, with you being a mom and a Gigi, do you share the stories with them? Because that's more of a part of you. So do you kind of share the stories with them to let them know who you are?
Yeah, they know. Well, my daughter just like she was reading the article and she was like, "Yo, that's pretty impressive." So she's super proud. My grandsons, they didn't come to the ceremony, but they're like, "I wish we had come, Gigi. That's pretty awesome." So yeah, they're old enough to get it. They're like 11 and 12. So
right.
Yeah, they were pretty stoked about that.
Well, we're here. Welcome to Birdland is honored because we want to be able to call you family now. For those that don't know, Shelly is a big deal to us here. Welcome to Birdland. And because you're Shelly's family, you're now part of our family.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I have a question. I need your sports teams. Who are you fans of?
Okay, here we go. Okay. So previously been a Cowboys fan since 1977, since like Billy Joe Dupree, Drew Pearson, Preston Pearson, Charlie Wall. I have always been a die-hard Cowboys fan.
She live in Dallas. We gotta give her that.
Oh, I hear how. However, okay.
If I want do toes on the line, Jerry Jones, I'm done. So I had a press conference with my cross-country team on a school bus, and I denounced them as my number one and moved the Ravens into one spot and moved the Cowboys to number two.
You moved to the number one spot?
I moved my Ravens back there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You all right?
That's my guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, number. Oh, okay.
Let me find out.
The pride. Oh,
Some baby, Brickle Patty.
we definitely got to call you. We definitely gonna call you some more. Oh, look, we.
Number of Ravens fans in Dallas, I must say. Some of my students are Ravens fans.
Really?
Is it because of Lamar?
Yeah. Everybody, you know what? Doesn't matter what team they like. Everybody loves Lamar down here.
Ah.
So, sure. When we're doing our little getting to know you phase with a new class of students, I always ask, like, what's your favorite team? And we always end up talking about teams. And a lot of them like the Cowboys, but a lot of them have teams that they like. Like, there's a lot of New Orleans Saints fans because, we got them when it was Hurricane Katrina. But there's a lot of kids like a lot of different teams. They're not really all Cowboys fans.
Okay.
But everybody's Lamar out here. Like, nobody ever has anything bad to say about Lamar.
Okay.
Tammy with the eye. We have a comment from the Peanut Gallery. The comment reads, if she went to college on New Hampshire, then why didn't she take the Patriots?
That's Wings. You know that's Wings.
Maybe because she has a lot of class.
That's right. And she's educated.
I don't like none of them.
Yeah.
I did cheer for Bucky Jones because he's already in New Britain when he was on the team.
That's a name I've heard for a long time.
Never been able to stomach the Patriots. Never.
Yeah. I'm saying Bucky. I hadn't heard that name in a long time. That goes back. That's cool.
We have another comment, and this is a compliment more so to you. It came from our buddy Bob. He says greatness is humble and he loves it. He said greatness is humble and he loves it.
How is Bob jumping back and forth?
That's what's up.
Our special friend Shelly said you her friend.
My man,
That's right. That's my bestie. That's my bestie.
Wow, man.
Special, I was about to check you, but you cleaned it up, so we good.
Yeah, we definitely. Shelly is definitely dear to the station here. So we never ever will make minute of who she is and the role she plays here. What I was saying to Troy, I was trying to explain to him. He had to know it was you calling because we had no other special guests lined up for tonight.
Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. You know it's recorded, right?
Oh,
Poor Rob. What happens is he gets so excited in trying to be right, he doesn't realize he's like Trump. Oh, no, I shouldn't go political, but he just starts saying stuff sometimes, and he don't realize people are listening.
You don't believe that, do you, Tammy with an eye?
You know what? That is my business. I mean, let's talk about it. We don't take out of that.
Yeah. I'm not going political. I'm just gonna say he gets a little when he gets hyped. Take it back to an 80s term. When he gets hyped like that, he tends to forget what he's saying. And then when you call him, he's like, "That's not what I said. Well, that's not what I meant. Well, you know what I meant." It goes into one of those kind of things. But I mean, Shelly is what we love about Shelly when she her comments are always right on point.
Always.
And yeah. So
Let me get down here so I can tell on Shelly. Y'all get radio version Shelly. I get the uncut version. Yo, Liddy. Yeah. If I'm out somewhere or if I'm at a track meet all day and I can't watch the game, especially like if Maryland is playing or women's back, like I don't watch Sports Center. I'll call Shelly and be like, "Women's game back for me, Shell," and she just running. It's great. She couldn't stand. Oh, it's great. You have no idea.
Wow. Now, the next thing, Tammy and I, we happened to see Shelly get out of character about 2 weeks ago because she had to protect the innocent. You don't have those same tendencies, do you?
I think a little bit more detail about this.
Someone here that happened to be a Colts fan
Rock
was
trying to clear
speaking
himself.
foul of one of our native Ravens fans, and she called in at the end of the show and let him have it.
Oh yeah. That's the show. That'll happen.
I told the guy earlier in the show, anytime someone started a statement off with saying what you won't do, you already know something coming behind it.
Oh yeah. You go ahead and retract that statement, whatever it was.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you again, Tammy, with an eye. Do you keep up with baseball?
It's like I watch baseball in person.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna sound weird. Don't judge me. This is gonna sound real controversial. Yeah. I watch the Yankees, but I like the Reds. Not either. It's fine. And I'm good with the Mets too. Like I don't know. Like I ain't got no dog in the fight, so I just I'm sorry.
So
I'm not committed. Any of them, so I just root for them all.
okay. That's
It's a little interesting, but here we are.
well. If you not a rank, okay. Not dealing with it. Okay. What about basketball?
Okay, so my real thing is college football. I love college football, especially SEC.
Yeah.
I'm on board with college basketball. I got no problem with that. I love women's basketball. I love men's basketball. I'm a Knicks fan. And it's been excruciating over this past few years, so y'all just let me have this series, okay? Just let me be the fact and the fact that we've made it here. Just let me be.
Oh, wait a minute. I just got another update. Orioles are up 4-2 still. It's the seventh inning. I'm just going to enjoy that moment. I don't know if it's the bottom of the seventh, top.
But it's still just 42. No
42 still, yeah.
Okay.
I need them to get some more insurance runs. I need them to pull away.
Yeah.
So let me throw my Oreo up there. Okay.
Make mention you're a big college football fan. Give us your thoughts and opinions on Dion.
I knew where you was going. Somebody get ready to say, here we go.
Okay, so here's the thing. I loved what he did for Jackson State. I absolutely loved what he did. I love how he brought attention to HBCUs. I love how he brought that energy. I love like fan base that he had there. I loved all of that. Now, I was actually surprised when he decided he was going to go to Colorado, but I wasn't upset about it. Like I was gonna fault this man for doing like he did a lot. I know people feel like he should have stayed. He should have been. I don't really care. I bet you I'm going to a Colorado game now. And
Wow. Now, what are your predictions? Do you think his record is going to be better than 1-11?
1-11 because I feel like he will command excellence there. And it doesn't matter where Dion is. Dion is Dion, and he's going to draw. He's going to recruit people who are good at what they do, and they're going to raise their game because they're Dion. I don't think so.
And bring in the right position coaches to teach these kids that the kids can relate to.
You don't recruit the right kind of people. I've coached collegiately before. It's really still about recruiting. Like you have to be able to recruit. He's going to bring the right coaches. He's going to bring the right staff. It takes a while for you to turn a program around. And they like to fire black coaches 2 years in the game when they'll give other people an opportunity. But here we are. But I want to see what he can do with like that team has not been good in a minute since Cordell Stewart. Like team has been
Wow.
Man.
So 3 games this year, he didn't already turn the program around.
There's still something to say. You know that they're always going to have something to say. But I'm excited to see what he does. I'm definitely going to a game. That's for sure.
I'm feeling that.
And the Big Ten, that's not the Big Ten. What conference is that? That's how then the Pac-10. Aren't they in the Pac-10? Right. So the USC, UCLA, Oregon, all those schools out there. And the Pac-10 isn't what the Pac-10 used to be. I think the Pac-10 nowadays just, they do a lot of retreads of coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And that good old boy network. I know this guy. He, I don't even know who the coach was they replaced, but just the fresh perspective of someone who knows what they're doing. He can't be better than the guy that was there before. It's the same problem that Nebraska's having, and it's had for like 20 years since Tom Osborne left. We keep playing former players.
They are still allowed to do that. Like, I can't just bring in my friends who aren't qualified to do jobs and expect success and not let them get fired. And that goes on for years and years and years. But the minute we bring somebody in that looks like us, it's a wrap.
And it's all about the network and then the boosters, who the boosters want. Remember, what was the coach's name at Texas?
Miami or something.
Yeah. He didn't get it. He didn't have a chance. Look what Notre Dame originally did with Ty Willingham. All he did was graduate 99.2% of his students and won 8 to 9 games a year, but they didn't want him there. So it's like you said, it's hard. It's hard for black coaches, but with Deion having that name behind him and track record behind him, he'll take it. Be competitive. And even at that first year in the harder games, but with the Pac-10 being down, he should be competitive, throughout, and may even win the conference in the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I can see it happening.
Okay, so now do you think there any nepotism going on with his son being the quarterback?
No, I was just thinking that. Where the kid recruited had his dad not been the coach at Colorado or any place in that conference. Like, where was he getting offers from when he graduated? Because he played here in Texas. Like, Deion was here. He did a youth team in Dallas. He was here for years. His daughter played basketball in the same district that I coach in, Shell and I. But I don't know. Would he have been recruited by them had his dad not been the coach?
So you don't agree that young man has talent?
Oh, I definitely don't. I'm definitely not saying that. Mm-hmm. I'm just asking the question. Like, I don't remember who was recruiting him when he was leaving high school. Did he get offered at Florida State or Florida or where his dad went?
He probably was Florida. Deion went to Florida State, so he's probably recruited heavily in the state of Florida. I don't know enough about him, but he probably didn't get the opportunity to go to Florida State. But when the nepotism question comes up, I always offer up Jim Boeheim coaching his son, and other coaches coaching their kids. So I don't care if it's nepotism or not. If the kid's got the talent, he'll play. If there's a better kid that comes up, I'm sure Dion will put him out there too.
Now, our human thesaurus Shelley, she says, excuse me, he was recruited by Florida State, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida.
Okay.
And then she also said Charlie Strong was the Texas coach.
Oh, Charlie Strong, yeah.
Yeah, it's Strong. I can't remember his first name. I know it was Strong. Couldn't remember his first name.
We have a combined question. With us all being Ravens fans, and then you being an avid college fan, what are your thoughts on Ed Reed? Do you think Ed Reed was done a disservice?
I think that long. I'm gonna say I just still feel like they don't give us the same resources and the same amount of time to talent as they do.
But he's at HBCU, and he had high expectations from a program that wasn't willing to invest the money.
Like you just can't put water in the wine. Like you gotta put some resources behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more than just the name for a program to be successful. It takes a lot of money. Takes a lot of it's a lot.
So you don't think him being a Hall of Fame NFL player, he would have been afforded the same resources that Dion is afforded from the same network and the same friends?
It's the same money. It comes down to, is there the same money? Jackson did some stuff to come up with the money. I don't think Bethune-Cookman was looking at that kind of money or trying to invest that kind of money.
They just thought him being him was enough. It wasn't. Put the money behind it. You gotta let that man do his job. Like you gotta give him to talk. I worked for an HBCU and spending that money, or at least when I did it, I was spending my own gas money to go to people's houses and recruit them. It's a lot.
Wow.
How important was academics to you as a coach?
Oh, I'm always an educator first. Like you have to be there for that because long after you're done with your sport, you're gonna need to fall back on that education. So like it's always been primary.
I'm a proud dad of two kids that's currently, one is currently at HBCU and one just graduated from HBCU, which was Morehouse, and my daughter's a senior at Spelman. They both were band participants coming out of high school, but the moment that they got to college, they both decided to not participate in the extracurricular activities because they wanted to focus on academics. And they were saying that the amount of money they would have gotten for participating in those activities wasn't worth the time commitment. So you being a coach, how do you convince these kids that the amount of time that you got to put in to be successful in athletics is going to be beneficial and rewarding to you and it's not going to harm you with your academics?
Well, here's the thing. You have to really, really love the sport to do it collegiately. And then the academics will take care of themselves. Like if you love the sport, if you're at the stage where you're being recruited as a student athlete, then you've already known what it takes to balance both. So in Texas, what's different from most parts of the country is part of your schedule is your athletic period. So if you play basketball, then you go to English, you go to Spanish, you go to basketball, and then you go to whatever your fourth period class is. So it's already something you have to balance. We have so much more time here to commit to the sport. Plus, you'll play in the morning. They'll have morning practices. They'll have after-school practices, and you still have to balance your academics, or you don't play. So by the time they get to college, they already know if they're going to sign this letter of intent, this school is going to basically own your time, and you have to figure this balance out. For most freshman year, you have to go to study hall until you can prove that you can handle your classes and your folk class and your sport anyway. Like I had to earn my way up to study. Like we talking, you got to get this 3.0 before we'll trust you to be out there on your own. They also supply you with tutors. So even though they own your time, if you're in love with the sport, it's worth it. But if it's not, then that's probably not something you want to do. So it's not convincing them that you have to balance your time. It's convincing them to come to the school and trusting that school with them.
Hey, I want you to take a guess at where Tammy started her coaching career.
Morgan.
Yes, sir. You gonna throw that out there? I knew you were throwing Yale out there. You gonna throw your Morganite head?
Well, yeah, I'm a Morgan man, and Morgan and track and field have a rich history. And when Shelley mentioned that you had coached at Morgan, it's just like the line from the movie. You had me at hello. So I know that there were challenges at Morgan athletically, and it still is. I have deep problems with the direction of the football program right now, especially the last, I'm gonna say 5, 6, 7 years, because just like we talked about with some of the elite schools, I had no faith in how they were getting coaches to coach the football program. You take a Tyrone Wheatley, who had played in the NFL but went to the University of Michigan. He should have never been the head coach at Morgan. I forgot the name of the coach who was there before him, whose whole plan offensively was just to have those same placards with plays drawn up like horse, diamond ring, iron and board, Toyota, and then like there was no offensive genius behind that. The defense was more than suspect. So I don't know that they've gotten it fixed. I haven't investigated. I've been so frustrated, but I do know the challenges that Morgan has. And for you to have coached there, I give you all kinds of kudos for just being in that situation and surviving in that situation.
Definitely an interesting time. Like I enjoyed being there, but there were parts of it that were very, very frustrating. That I had lots of questions about. But overall, it was a great experience. I have some lifelong friends from there. There's nothing quite like being at an HBCU. I didn't go to one. Coaching at one, there is nothing like it. There's no other experience that can replace that. It just isn't.
I like it.
Yeah. So
I'm old. I'm even older than Shelley. So if I'm older than Shelley, I got to be older than you. I remember when Morgan's football team had true stars on it.
Wow.
If anybody, I think I mentioned this on the show, maybe I didn't. If anybody remembers the Reebok Terry Tate office linebacker commercials, I was at Morgan when Lester Spade was there, who played Terry Tate office linebacker, when he was at Morgan on that football team. And those guys were scary. Like, the teams were afraid to play Morgan's defense.
I didn't know he went to Morgan. I did not know that.
So my freshman year, I came out of practice to get some water at the water fountain, and I saw this guy walking down the hallway with shoulder pads on. And I was thinking to myself, why do you have shoulder pads on over under a t-shirt? Like, what are you doing? And as he got closer, I realized, those aren't shoulder pads. Yeah, it was Leicester State. He's been a beast for a long
I'm gonna tell you, the most important thing about that story is that you was on the wrestling team. I had questions about that, but
Yeah, because he's suspect.
Bro, I catch this all the time. Man, when we were in bowling league, if they needed 5 pins, he'd throw a ball to get 4, and the next ball go in the gutter. So I'm not sweating. I'm not sweating. I know what's up.
No, I ain't talking to him. So, Tammy, it's been a pleasure, man, and we thank you. I know you said you just got off the plane, so we're not going to keep you much longer. It was definitely our honor for you to be a part of Welcome to Birdland.
Yes,
your family now. Please, by all means, keep tuned in. Call in whenever you want. You can chime in whenever you want. And we promise we're going to do another takeover because I think it's more to Tammy with an eye that we got out of you tonight.
Well, the pleasure was mine. I appreciate you both.
Thank you. And the fact that you're a Ravens fan, we definitely need you. Yeah.
I'm calling it. Next time I call in, I have my favorite cousin on. She's a diehard Giants fan, and she got a lot of things. She got a lot to say.
All right. Another one. Look, those two are married to Giant fans, so you know.
No. I'm a Raven fan out of, but she's a Mets fan though.
Yeah.
She turns it.
Sorry, a little controversial. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't talk about the Mets.
My favorite cousin, and when I said Red Sox, because she's a diehard Yankee fan, she was over there like punching the air because she wanted to punch me.
Oh man.
I'm looking forward to it, man. So keep it locked to Welcome to Birdland. And like we said, you're family now, man. So feel free to tune in, chime in, call in whenever you want.
Yes, and if it's all right, I will share your story on my Facebook page, King Brody Facebook page. Okay, so definitely like, follow, and share. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
All right now. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Tammy with an eye.
I do too.
Jesus. See, Shelly held back on us because Shelly had to know she was a Ravens fan.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that part.
Me either.
Because I was like, we can mess up that.
But no.
Expecting Patriots. I was like, Wink, I'm like, she can say New England. She got to say New England.
I'm just thinking the Saints or the Cowboys. Because they have ties to New Orleans. Shelly makes that clear.
Oh, that's right.
And she lives in Dallas.
That's right.
So I was thinking the Saints or the Cowboys. That's what I was thinking.
That's right. I find it interesting. That's why when
oh wow, we got off the phone too soon. Shelly said Shelly wanted us to ask her about the Mets game when he went. Shelly, this is what you do. Won't you call in to tell us about the Mets game?
Yeah, call in now if you can. I like to hear it.
It's something juicy, man.
I think my wife already grabbed some Mets tickets.
I'm not even gonna ask. See, there you go, man. Don't you understand?
Bruh.
Don't you understand?
See, there you go again. Just because you loud don't mean you're gonna be right.
You know, with us being the husbands in the poly relationship,
and when you tell lies, look. Did you?
So we're not even poly relationship.
You just run down the hall. I'm gonna turn my phone on. It was a lie. Then you just start running around the corner. What did Bob say? Bob. Oh, that was
his interview.
Yeah. He enjoyed it. That was cool, man.
It was special, man. That was a really, really treat. And shout out to Tammy with an eye, man. It's not easy to make the accomplishment she made, and it's definitely not easy as a black woman. So shout out to Tammy with an eye. And we definitely applaud you for all your accomplishments, Tammy with an eye.
No doubt. And let me say that one thing that I'm proud of with this show is that my personal opinion, every guest that we've had call in, it's been great, man. I've learned a lot. So from your cousin, the boxer.
Yes. Tell me you enjoyed the fight last week.
I did. Let me tell you, I'm not familiar with that format.
It just started.
Oh, that's new. Okay, so it is.
Guess what the boxers make a year?
What?
$100K.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me tell you what we're talking about. For those who do not know, I didn't know about this. It's called Team Combat. Is that?
Yeah,
And it's boxing.
it's TCL, Team Combat League.
Team Combat League. So what it is, you have two. In this particular case, it was two. Well, it was city. So it was DC against.
It's all together. It's 8 cities that's in this tournament.
Okay.
It's New York, LA, Baltimore, DC, VA is Baltimore, VA, DC is
one team. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So when DC pops up, I need to be rooting for them.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
It
have to be DMV finally. I may have to actually.
It's like Atlanta, St. Louis, but it's like 8 teams all together, and it's 18 rounds.
Right.
1 round each fighter.
Right. Each fighter gets 1 round, and after and when I was watching, it said 1 of 18, 2 of 18, 3 of 18. So as somebody comes in, and they even have women boxing.
Yes,
too.
women boxing.
So I'm sitting there and I didn't know what I was looking at, and I'm watching the numbers change, and looking because you can easily get distracted because I'm like, is somebody going to knock somebody out? You got to give it all you got for 1 round. So when your cousin came up, say his name again?
Derek Scooter Davis.
Derek Scooter Davis. Okay, when he came up, and it was interesting before. So this is my first time watching him live. Right, and it was on YouTube, by the way, y'all.
Yes, it's on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m.
It's every week?
It's every week till the season is over. The season ends in July.
So does he fight every week too?
Yes.
So okay, so I need to share that. Okay.
Yeah, it comes on 7 p.m. every Thursday.
Okay, I'm glad you told me. I thought it was just this was a man. So you like to stay. That's good conditioning.
Yes.
So do they know who they actually? Well, I guess you don't know. You just
you don't know who you're fighting. You just know which team you're fighting,
and you know the weight your weight class.
Weight class. You take on who they may know like earlier that day or the day before,
right?
But it's not like they sitting there now and then they know next week which one is going to be in the ring with them. You know.
So where can I find the standings? Like where?
YouTube channel. If you Google Team Combat League, it'll come up. Or you actually can go to the YouTube channel and they have the standings on there. Okay. Right now, New York is undefeated. New York is the only undefeated team.
Really? Have we played New York?
Yes, we fought them first.
Okay. See, what's fun is the comments. There's one girl, it was a girl from DC. She talked, anybody say anything, but she was typing so much she probably didn't had the comments. But it was go DC, and whoever came up, she was like, I mean, she was typing so much and talking to anybody that would talk to her. So I'm like, all right, I definitely got to share that. And so that's who I know who I'm rooting for.
Did Scooter impress you?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So yes, to answer your question. But prior to the fight, to everybody's fight, so Scooter, he actually came up faster than I thought.
Right.
So maybe he was the 10th or something like that.
11th. He was
11th.
Yeah.
So when he came up after, like during his fight, the commentators were different. And then once he was finished, they were like, okay, this was the best of what we've seen so far. Yeah. Because I'm watching, so because it's 1 round, I'm actually more nervous as opposed to a full fight. Because you can make a mistake and it's over. It's done.
Right.
And the dude at the beginning, his whoever he was fighting against, didn't seem to be afraid, didn't seem to be, you know what I mean? He didn't seem intimidated. And he was kind of standing his ground. Now, I'm not saying he ever looked like he was winning. I'm always worried about that one lucky punch.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Scooter was, to me, it looked like he was
in control of the fight.
Yeah. It didn't look like he was necessarily going for a knockout or anything, but he was like, I'm getting these points. Oh, you left that open. Oh, dropped your left. Oh, and he was throwing a lot of jab. That left jab, man.
Was something special.
Yeah. So I was very impressed. That's my first time seeing him live. I've seen the footage that if I could talk about it.
Yeah.
That you sent me. I've seen some of that. But to see it live boxing is just, it took me back to, now I'm used to the heavyweights, so that's what I used to keep up with. But it just took me back to younger times.
And Hassan Rockman's son is actually on that team.
I miss his.
Yeah, he didn't fight Thursday.
Okay.
But he's on that team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is he heavyweight?
Heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get a chance, go to YouTube and see. He's been making some noise, man.
Okay.
I was surprised and I was impressed.
I'm gonna be a fan of that, and I'm gonna start posting about that. And let more people know to watch it. And since you
Yeah,
said it's on Thursdays, now it's difficult because Orioles play all the time.
right. But you
Ravens play.
can watch it later.
That's true. That's
You
true.
always can go back and watch it later.
And then if you just tell me, and if you are telling me, like if you happen to see it, just make sure you text me. He was number 10, number 12. I want to make sure because I try to watch it straight through.
Right.
But once the women that I didn't know women win, and when they popped up, because thought they were repeating because some of those girls looked similar. I don't know if you noticed that. So the one girl that had her hair pulled back, I'm like, is she fighting more than this?
One got fought twice.
Okay. So it ain't me going crazy.
No, it wasn't you. Some of the boxers, and I guess it depends on the number of people they have on their team or the number of people that travel with them.
Mm-hmm.
So the young girl, the light skinned girl, she fought twice.
Okay. Because I thought, okay, are they running this back? I'm fascinated by your inquiry. Oh no, that's the Yale. Yale, you didn't?
Yes, I'm here. What's going on?
No, the Queen just responded to your question about how did she find L on IG.
Yeah, she doesn't remember.
Yeah, she said, yeah, she's fascinated by your inquiry though. I'm like, now I need to go in there and follow too. I need to see what y'all talking about. But I'm sorry. Anyway. Oh, you can ready to tell me something?
No, I'm just gonna have her contact me.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Troy, and since we were speaking on boxing, I know I might be a little biased because it is my family.
you know what you get ready to say, but I know where it's going. Go ahead, man.
He's an awesome athlete. He was a better football player than he was a boxer.
I think did he say that when he called?
I said it. And the reason why I keep bringing it up because his dad is changing the lives of some young men, and I really want to get them back on the station. They're doing spring ball right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing 7-on-7.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are 4-0 right now.
Okay.
So can you imagine a group of kids that's been together 3 years, and in 3 years they've only lost one game, and the one game they lost was the national championship.
And how old? What's the age group again?
8U. So they're between the ages of 7 and 8.
So if they can stay together,
yes, they're gonna run the table.
Do they all live in the same area? Like
they all in the PG County area.
Okay. So like, can they? So are they all in the same? Like, can they go to the same high school? Like, do they live that close to each other? Or is it
same high school?
Because that would kill them.
They probably gonna end up once they get to high school competing against each other.
Okay.
Because of that. But I'm saying all that to say that what he's doing with this group of young men is remarkable, man. And so often we don't highlight and showcase things like that. These are all good kids. He's preaching education. He's teaching them to be decent young men. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Simple stuff. Put a belt on, young man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's things like that he's instilling in them, which brings a different dynamic to them and makes them play that much harder for him, man. So we want to definitely get them back on because anything we can do to highlight the youth and youth athletics, I want to be a part of that.
Okay.
So I said that to say about Scooter because he got it firsthand from his dad. Mm-hmm. So with him to be in a violent sport that he is, and for him to still be the person that has the demeanor that he is, it's something special.
I got an important announcement.
Go ahead.
Orioles won 4-2.
Wow.
Orioles won. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yale. Hopefully somebody told Yale he ain't turned to it because it could have gone.
No, I was it's on ESPN.
Yeah.
Let me put my O's in. Yes. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't interrupt you, but it was for good news, so I knew you'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I'm fine, man.
Orioles win 4-2. That's a huge game, huge series, and we need to win tomorrow and win the series. And the thing will be great. Okay, man, I'm sorry. Go back to the fact. Let me say one thing, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I'm listening to and it's because we're I love to talk about Baltimore. I was listening to a lot of celebrities that watch tank fight, and I'm listening to everybody from Michael Jai White, um, Lil Boosie, just different people. Man, they were they felt like it wasn't any doubt he was going to win.
Right.
But they were just like, but the whole like Michael Jai White talking about how classy he was because they bet the purse.
Right.
And he was like, man,
he can keep it.
Yeah, he told me he could keep it. He's like, that's classy, man. That's why he is who he is, and blah blah blah. Lil Boosie was like, man, I'm taking everything. Make sure and took his car, took the emblem off the. He's like, I'm like, but you know what, man? It's like that's kind of how you get into it. It's just talk, man. But anyway, I wanted to say that because I would love to see. I'm watching your cousin, and I remember asking your cousin what he thought, and he's like, I'm not ready yet. And you had said, but you know what's going to happen sooner or later,
Right.
right? And I'm looking at your cousin, and I'm like, he's doing everything from what I can see, and I'm way behind. So I'm like, I'm way behind. But the way he's taking his time, like doing his lead, I think about it. Back in the day, they wouldn't do this. But the league helps because boxing needs a boost, man.
It does.
It
gets you out there, get your name going. It gives you the learning tools. You ain't just getting your brains beat in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to hurry up and jump up in the ranks. So
yeah. And see, I'm probably the only person that's not into MMA. Like, I'm not really into that. Like, when it's on, I go to a sports bar, I'll watch it. I'm not watching it at home. But if it's on, I'm looking. I don't know who I might recognize people from time to time, but I'm not into that as much. And I'm in the minority. I get it. But boxing, man, boxing was the shit. Man, come on. You're old enough to remember, and I don't even say heavyweight. Why am I struggling with it? Like Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
And those dudes, it was like you was always into the heavyweight, but you bounce around. Holyfield was coming up. He's like, okay, I got to put on weight so I can get in this heavyweight. I remember George Foreman's comeback and all that. By the way, he got that movie coming. I don't know if I want to see the movie in the theater, but I think I want to see it when I can watch it at home.
Right.
And hit pause. And, but because when it comes to boxing, if it ain't Ali or Tyson, I could probably hold off. But I like George Foreman. Did you get the grill?
Yeah. I think I
have a George Foreman. Like everybody had, I know I had like 4 of them.
I never got one, but I used to work at Hex, and they would always throw in the employee room. They took them off the floor and would put them in there, right? So you have the floor model. All right, time to get a new floor model. They kept putting one in the back. So I'm not saying I never used one, but it was, because I was at work, it was like, it's like I can say that because it's Macy's now. But shoot, man, we threw a lot of stuff back there. Now I don't know where they got the food from because Hex didn't have they had no supermarket, so I don't know where the burgers and stuff came from. But yeah, George, man, I am curious to see if they dwell on that in the movie about his comeback. As far as George,
I think the whole purpose of the movie is to talk about his comeback.
Yeah, because
George only came back to win $1 million to help his church.
Right, and I really
fight for the heavyweight championship again. He just wanted to earn $1 million to help his small church, which was struggling. And he started at the bottom and worked his way back up. And on his comeback trail, he got the George Foreman grill deal. And I think it was offered to somebody else before it was offered to George, and they turned it down, and they went to George as a fallback.
Shoot.
I'm sure the movie will touch on it.
Oh, they sitting there like that dude from the Temptations at the bar.
Like, like me walking past a Yankees souvenir store. Like he shot past $1 million, no question.
Oh, no doubt. No
and
doubt.
When he won the heavyweight won the championship from the young boy, that just elevated him even further. He didn't have to do anything else.
Given to him.
Oh, he won. He beat that young boy's ass.
Man.
The guy who, just like Troy was saying, he wasn't a heavyweight in the class of like a Mike Tyson or a Riddick Bowe or anybody of that stature, but he did have a title. You know, it was the WBC, the WBA, and there was like the IBF or something, and he had one of those titles, one of the smaller titles, but he was still considered the champion of that organization. So George beat him and won the title.
Yo, man, it feels so good to talk about boxing, man. I miss it. I miss boxing, and now it's like I got to learn who these dudes are. Somebody on the phone? Oh, so we had another call that I'm supposed to know who it is automatically. Y'all heard that? Anyway, Yale, man, dude. And I remember Foreman was still, if you didn't block, protect, he still had the strength to knock your ass out. You know what I mean?
George Foreman. So, and we used to have these conversations in your dad's barbershop all the time. So one of the things I remember, Larry Holmes' most devastating thing was his jab. You could not stop a Larry Holmes jab. It was like a jackhammer in your face all day and set you up. George Foreman, you didn't really have a defense for George Foreman because when you put your hands up, he came all through that. You end up knocking yourself out with your own glove. So hard. Ali just let him punch himself out. The rope and dope made George extend himself and wear himself out. And then when he was tired, Ali had enough left to take him out. Plus, he'd been playing mind games with him the whole time they were in Africa.
Yeah.
But I believe this movie will focus on that. I just hope the acting is good enough and the story is done good enough that it's a good movie. But just like you, Troy, I'd rather be home to watch it instead of sitting up in the theater and end up being very disappointed.
Yeah, the movie Ray, right? Which I love, Jamie Foxx. I wanted them. I was hoping they would still come to when he was doing the Pepsi commercials. Like I was hoping they would make it that far. So he was popular again. You know what I mean? So I was hoping they would at least get it to because I remember people were running around wearing those T-shirts. Those was it Say I can't remember. Yeah. People had those T-shirts. So I was like, I would hope they would drag it that far. So with Foreman, I would imagine, and I don't know, they might show him as a kid, but I would imagine they would try to hurry up and get to the point where he lost to Ali, because I would love to see his perspective from that, and then hurry up and get to where he really became successful again, and it's more about his comeback. That's what I'm imagining. But if it doesn't,
it's totally different because Ray was always popular. Ray never lost popularity. He gained a whole new audience with a new younger audience with the Pepsi commercials. And tell you a real quick funny story. Ray Charles came to Pier 6 and I spent $55 a piece for tickets to sit in the third row of Ray Charles concert at Pier 6. $55 whole dollars. So $110 to see Ray Charles at Pier 6. And my date and I were sitting there, and this white couple came in and sat behind us, and the man was clearly much older than the girl he brought. I'll just put it that way. And she was like, I'm not really familiar with him. And he was like, he's a superstar. He transcends. You're going to love the show. Ray Charles is a master. So the show, Ray was great. The show was great. I loved it. But when the show was over and everybody was standing up and getting ready to go, I heard her say to him, but he didn't do that song that I love so much. And I was done.
Man, that was it, man. Look, that was the thing, man. Because I remember sitting around, and I would be in the house going, "Eat shot." That was my Ray Charles impersonation. Eat shot. I used to do that around the house all the time, man. And that's I wanted to see that, man. I was hoping. I'm like, just give me the song. Let me see y'all do We Are the World. Let me see that a couple times. And that's what I was hoping for. But I mean, but his story was so there was so much. I mean, it would have to be a series or something. I guess you can't cover everything.
Everything, right? The lifespan.
Yeah, or you'd have to short change something. So,
and that's what we was talking about, like with the new
his life journey. Like that was just an advertisement campaign, and I understand you loved it. Everybody loved it.
It was
an advertisement campaign. That had nothing to do with his, his struggle with drugs and his, they left a lot out. They left a lot out about Ray, and I was always a huge Ray Charles fan. I remember where I was when the announcement came that he died. It broke me up. So, the dude's aha thing would have been like, even though I tried to watch it and it was horrible. The Elton John story I thought was horrible. It'd have been like talking about Elton John on the Muppet Show. Like that was so small on the grand scheme of who Ray Charles.
No, man. It was to take it to lead into We Are the World because they're taking the top celebrities. That's big. Ray Charles would be included with that, and he deserved it. I'm not saying he should have been, but that's huge. Anybody that was involved with that, and then to elevate to, I mean, it was a worldwide thing, man. That just it was huge, man. I don't think that's minor at all, especially at the time.
I mean, but if you want to talk about We Are the World, We Are the World was really the inspiration came from Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson. Ray was just one of the voices, not to diminish it, because there was a lot of people there, but it wasn't a Ray Charles, like that wasn't his idea. He was just one of the people.
Yeah, no, I don't want it to be, no, that could have been one of those sideline things where they're like, hey, Ray, whatever. No, that shouldn't have been a big part of the movie. But he could have, man, they could have ended on that. And then, but at least, I will say this, at least in the credits, they did show it. They did show him with the girls or whatever, I don't know who they were then. But they did at least show it in the clips. But it was a great movie. I thought it was great. I have no complaints with the movie about that Ray Charles. With George, I'm worried. I don't know. The movie's out, isn't it? Is the former movie out?
I think it's coming out.
Oh,
I think it's coming out soon, very soon.
well, as soon as you know somebody that's seen it, let me know. But whenever it comes out, you know how things are now. A month later, you'll be able to get it on. You don't want to pay anything extra.
Streaming service.
Yeah, it needs to just come on something that I already have. I don't want to pay extra for it. But I think I bet if it's done well, it's a great story. Because they got to go into his grilling and like you said, the church. I remember. I don't remember why I mean, I know why, but I don't actually remember them talking about him coming back to fight. I just remember going, "What?" That's all I can really remember about it. So I think once I see the
It was
movie,
a joke because he was all of 40 years old coming back. I want to say 42, but it was a big joke. All the big boxing analysis analysts like Bert Sugar and all those other people, they were like, "What is he doing? He's an old man. He's going to get killed in the ring." And, he's truncated. They're not going to show every fight he had. They're not going to talk about some of the cream puffs he had and some of the challenges he had.
They got to show Frazier though. They got to show the Frazier fight.
That is one of the
main his early career. They'll go through the Frazier fight, and
Frazier,
and the Nixon fight. They'll show those, and then they'll probably show they're going to definitely have to show the Ali fight,
right?
And he's probably going to talk about how he hated Ali because they have a scene where somebody's playing Ali, making a comment about him, So they should do that. But he talked about it, how much he couldn't stand Ali, you know, and then they end up becoming very good friends near the end of Ali's life.
I would imagine probably most of them hated Ali, man, because he talked so much. Can't imagine being a boxer and he's, contemporary, whatever. I don't think anybody would have liked. I wouldn't have liked him. I loved him as a fan, but I wasn't fighting. You know what I mean? To Yale. So are you? I know you're. It appears to be your most. I'm not going to say most knowledgeable, but I know you're heavy into college football and the NFL. Not so much for the MLB. Where does boxing rank for you, man?
So to be clear, for years, every sport, baseball, basketball, football, boxing, no soccer, but for years I was about every sport. And then I got older, and ESPN and all these other, like, it's to me, even now, it's just too much. I can't keep up with.
Yeah.
I could probably name 10 NBA players, but I couldn't necessarily tell you what teams they played on or whatever. I can't. So I let go of basketball around the time Jordan retired from the Bulls, permanently retired from the Bulls.
Okay.
It might be a few years after that, but it used to be NFL, college ball, um, NBA, and boxing. Those were the top four in that order.
Okay.
Now it's NFL, college ball, and like I used to pay attention to NCAA basketball, and then I went to conference tournament, and then NCAA championship. As far as what I watched or paid attention to. Now I do a bracket for college basketball. I'm just going purely on what they're listed out as in their seating, because I haven't sat and watched a college basketball game in I don't know how many years. So now it's really just, like as you said, NFL and college football.
Okay. You sound similar.
In my memory.
Yeah, because with basketball, I was a Barkley fan, so I was all into it. And especially the fact that he didn't have a ring. So like in those final years, I'm like, okay, I'm watching everybody, and unfortunately, it's not like now where you can catch every game somewhere. Luckily, he was a superstar, but they played in the West. So I would have to catch those. Back then, it was like the TNT games or TBS or whatever. And then it might come on at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, something. But if it was on, then you catch him. Then it would be like Christmas Day. You'd get games. You know what I mean? But
yes, I remember Barkley when he was at Auburn, and then when he was drafted by the 76ers, he played for the 76ers, and he was known as the round mound of rebound.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like
then he went to Arizona.
Don't be saying Arizona. I'm in Arizona. It's like I'm all in. Then they got the dream team. I'm like, yeah. So when he went, I think it's funny. I didn't get a jersey till he went to Phoenix. I should have a Philly.
He was in Philly.
I should have a 76er jersey, but I didn't get one till he went to Phoenix. And then when he went to Houston, I got one. And then I was like, why didn't I get a 76? You know what I mean? 76.
You still can.
I may have to, man. Look, because to be quite honest, my Phoenix ones, and I got both colors. They're actually framed because I can't wear them anymore, bro. But if I get it, I can go get my 3XL.
George Foreman grill.
But man,
Troy Rock. Speaking of the Olympics and the Dream Team, have you heard the Barkley Dream Team story?
what? I'm not sure which.
About this, and he confirmed it. He gave me a side eye when he confirmed it.
You met Barkley?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta tell me about that too. Okay, what happened? What's the story?
So they were on the bus coming from practice, and it was Jordan, Bird, Magic, oh my God, boy's name went right out the side of my head. Who was Jordan's sidekick? Pippen, and I think it was a fifth player. Anyway, they were on the bus and they were talking, and Barkley came to sit down to join the conversation, and Jordan said to him, "This is a ring conversation. There's 5 rings in this conversation, and only people who have them can talk. So guess
So it is a true story.
that is a true story.
Did he leave?
I don't know if he left. He just gave it the side. I was like, yeah, that's true.
I know that's one thing he hates.
And then I capped it up. I cleaned it up. I told him, I said, I'm an Alabama fan, but to me, 2 of the greatest athletes to ever play professional sports came out of Auburn, and that's you and Bo. And he said, okay. And then you let me take a picture with him.
Man, I tried
That
to
got to be heartbreaking though to spend his entire career. Well, Dan Marino had the same problem.
But I mean, Barkley had chances. That Phoenix team, man, but he did not play. He did not play his game because I was, man, the same way I am now arguing with people. I was the only person that was all in on Phoenix beat Chicago, and I was like, if Barkley plays the way he always plays, he's not going to let Jordan just run through the middle. Jordan have to work on that outside shot or go from a different side. And he did not play his game. He might have played his game maybe half of one of those wins, but he let Jordan come in, man. And I was like, Barkley would hack Shaq. And Shaq's way bigger than he is. He didn't care. You know what I mean? It's like, you're just not going to come in here and dunk at will. You might get one, but if I see you, I'm just going to, you know what I mean?
Think about what you're saying. You're saying he let Jordan do something. How many people let
Meaning he did. No, it's one thing if you try to stop him, but if you don't play, he did not play his regular game, man. I used to model. I used to try to emulate his style when I played, and it's just stuff he didn't do. His shooting and everything, but defensively, he just did not. I mean, there were certain times when you knew Jordan was. It's like you got to protect the dunk game. You know what I mean? And Barkley's thing was he gonna make you think about it the second time. You know what I mean? You come in the first time, and it was just he did not play the way he played that entire season. He just didn't play the same way with Jordan, and Barkley would go after whoever the superstar was. He didn't care. You know what I mean? I mean, he was a forward, but anyway, that always bothered me. And then when he went to Houston, I really knew they was getting a ring that year with Drexler and Olajuwon, and he was being too he was being too considerate. I don't know how to put it. Do you remember that, Yale?
So he deferred too much, but I mean, they had the same problem. They had already won championships, and the downside of Drexler's career, and Olajuwon was still Olajuwon, but he wasn't the Olajuwon when they won the back-to-back championships. And people tend to forget that Houston won back-to-back championships
in between that
before Jordan ascended.
Yeah, I remember that. And they were a good team, but I'm like, they weren't quite who they were. But then you bring in Barkley, and it's like, I don't know. Barkley he was passing too much. I'm like, man, just take over a game like you. And it's easy to do when you're in Phoenix, and you're the man in Phoenix. You were the man. So everything kind of rolled through you. I mean, you had Kevin Johnson doing whatever. Dan Marley would nail some threes. And then depending on who is, he had Oliver, had these other people, man. I was all in on Phoenix. And the person that I had to argue with most is this girl Adrian. She was a Karl Malone. She was a Malone fan, and we were always sitting back going at it back and forth.
Karl Malone.
I'm like, why do you like him? So most people that I knew didn't like him, but and they couldn't stand Stockton. That whole pick and roll thing they had that they were doing. But
hell of a 1-2.
Yeah, I give credit where it's due in retirement, but during the actual day, it's like same way with Derek Jeter, man. I give Derek Jeter props now because he's doing commercials, but while he was playing, nah, He's a terrible shortstop. I said it like I said it so easily, and people be like, even Oriole fans be like, wait, what? I would not, man. That final year, um, and we were sitting. My seats then were kind of like not directly behind home plate, but like a little bit to the first base side, but closer to home plate. And there were a bunch of Yankee fans sitting around me. And Jeter came up, I booed like my life depended on it. And they turned around, what they gonna do? I mean, what are you gonna do? Because even if people disagree, Oriole fans ain't gonna let you do nothing. And I'm with family. I don't care. I'm not setting an example. I booed him like he's still playing. He's still playing. He ain't retired yet. And it was like, and dude, I remember in front of me, dude, seriously, you can't do something to make us lose. What are you talking about? He's still playing. He ain't in the stands. You know what I mean? He ain't sitting next to Rob Long or whoever in the next with a microphone. He got in his hand, booing his ass. So that I'm sorry, that's just me, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But I give credit when it's all said and done, man. So Mariano Rivera, I give him credit now. I hated his ass too. But anyway, but if you on a team now and you're not on the Orioles, you get no credit. None. I can't think. Football. Name me a really good football player that's not on the Ravens. How? Nope. He's all right. Shit. Tom Brady wasn't shit. He's all right now. He doesn't unless he come back. I said,
He's gonna come back for one day.
That's fine as long as it ain't during the season. Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Tommy. I mean, he's okay. He fast.
Derrick Henry.
Tackle his ass, and I ain't talking about Earl Thomas tackle either. Now I'm not getting nobody credit, man. What's they done, and then I'd say something. But when we didn't have a team, those years in between Colts and Ravens, then my team was whatever player I liked, that's who I rooted for. And if whatever team had the most players that I liked, but if they lost, I didn't care. I was trying to go out and go up to the park. And I'm like, where are we playing? You know what I mean?
Right.
So run up Stokes Drive and it'd be a game up. We used to play at Edmonton, man. Let me tell you. Some
historic games was held at Emerson. And I ain't talking about the high school team.
No, not at all. Yes, a couple of us went up there Sunday. And so it took me football. When it comes to pickup games like basketball, it was hard for me to get it because I don't look like a basketball player and I wasn't buying. It's what you wear determines how you get picked. So I learned that when I grabbed, like when I started wearing my Barkley stuff, then people would start picking me because now I'm matching and their colors were purple and orange. So, that's before we had purple, but I love the orange.
Right.
But somebody lost out there.
Mm-mm.
Like we said, let me put the camera on, make sure nobody will walk through the door. But anyway, but with football, I was a football sized guy. You know what I mean? I looked like I played, so I didn't really have issues. So I would go up Edison, man. The problem was you always knew somebody, like everybody knew somebody, and it just depended on who I knew and how good they were. So if I knew somebody who was all right, even though he's on a team, that didn't help me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there were some dudes on the other side of the avenue down near Hilton. I started running with them.
The Colts boys, you talking about the Colts boys? They were brothers. It's like four of them. Their last name was Colts.
I don't know any last names,
Okay.
man. I only knew nicknames. The only first name, dude named Will and dude named Artie. Does that sound familiar? Artie was the quarterback. Will was a running back. And because we used to jump that fence in Southwestern.
Okay.
Play over there. So between there and Edison, but the better games were Edison, man.
Right.
And because you could just walk on the field. And there would be 50 guys out there. I mean, people out there for a pickup game. But once I got on, I was on. But let me tell you, those games, man, because I was playing there before I started playing high school. So I was running around out there, man, and these dudes, from some of cons, weren't they? Weren't they ex-cons? And these all dudes that were like 30 trying to act like they was 18 and 19. I'm like, dude, you old as hell. You know what I mean? So when I went to St. Joe, because I tried to play organized ball when I was like 10, but I
couldn't make weight.
my weight had me
Couldn't
playing
make
with
weight.
some old ass boys driving. It was like, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So you 10, but it's not age. Every other sport, basketball, baseball, everything else was your age. Football was your
It
weight.
was your weight.
So I'm playing with 10 and you playing with 14-year-olds. Can't mess with them. You know, I weighed what I weighed, but I didn't have the strength or anything. So I didn't play again till high school. And once I started running up there at Edmondson, man, and then went to St. Joe, and I put on, felt like Terminator. I'm like, this is it. You know, I'm like playing with guys my age. It was a whole different story. But the funny thing is, when I did get hurt, I twisted my ankle once, and which I never done, and I got hit in my thigh. Somebody's helmet, my thigh pad like shifted, and I got hit head on. And I knew it was minor, but I couldn't walk. Like right after hit, I couldn't walk. Like I couldn't get strength in my muscle together. So it took like a couple of plays. That's the only 2 times I got hurt. But the ankle took forever.
Right.
But I wouldn't, guys, man, we keep playing. I'm like, just put more tape on it. Put more tape on it because it didn't hurt to walk. It hurt to shift on it and stuff. Like as long as I was running straight, it was fine. But I couldn't get my angles together. But anyway, man, I'm just saying, thinking about Edmondson, man, those guys, man. And then if you really good, like if you get somebody, then they want to fight.
Oh, listen, man. I wasn't gonna bring the story, but I'm gonna tell you, we was up there one day, man. It's like you said, it was jam packed. Anybody that was anybody in the village was at this game, and I'm not gonna put his name out there.
Oh, so did he play for Edmondson too?
Nah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm a hit.
He was really popular in Emerson Village though, because he was doing some things he had no business.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna get if I guess the name.
I'll put his name out there.
All right, we're gonna see.
But in the game, he went to go run the ball. Right? Now keep in mind we called it bone ball because ain't nobody had no equipment.
That's right.
Yeah.
You could wear rubbery type stuff.
Yeah, or you could wear football pants.
Right.
But you couldn't wear no shoulder pads.
No shoulder pads. Right.
He was running the ball.
Uh-huh.
He came through the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he was like hot stuff. He came through the line and they nailed him, right? He lay there for a couple of minutes. Everybody looking like, is he high? Is he all right? So he took off a couple plays, right? When he get back in the game, he come through the line again. As he coming through the line of scrimmage, you see the like sweat. God. When he started running through the line, he had a 22 in his hand.
Oh, no, I wasn't there for that. I was not there for
that. Because nobody really saw what was going on. When he came through the line,
right.
He had a 22 in his hand. The whole defensive line was parting like the Red Sea. Man, it was funny, man.
I had not heard about that one. I just can't believe I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, man, it's been some stories up there. And then somebody came with the bright idea they could play people from other neighborhoods, from East Baltimore, Cherry Hill. It was always a good game, but it was going to be a fight at
always.
It was always.
And I don't know, and that's not, think about it. It's before social media. What's wrong with the dudes on Hilton? That's what they were like, hey, what you doing? They called me on the phone and said, we're going to play down by Montgomery Wards.
Yes.
I'm like, Montgomery Wards? What's down there? Like,
Carroll Park.
They didn't say Carroll Park, right? I was like, what? So I'm like, well, give me the address, and then I got to get the map. I'm running the 7-Eleven. Max, yes. So I was looking there real quick, and I'm like, okay. So because it's not far, and we would go all over the city. Like I don't know how they were organized like that.
Phone calls.
Well, I met them we were playing down Allendale. Mm-hmm. So our team was Holloway.
Okay, Jeffrey and him.
My God, that dude.
Jeffrey,
that dude. If he, I don't know if it was his. I don't know what happened I just know his ability, and I'm like, if he got bigger or if he had the grades, whatever, and the reason why he should have gotten a scholarship somewhere at the very least. So he always wanted to be a linebacker. So I was playing the line, and we're playing against the dudes from Hilton, right?
Mhm.
So they come over there, and we're playing down the park. Is that up the park for you? We call it down the park.
We call it
Across the park. So we down on Allendale, look, and I still got, because it was glass all on that field. I still got a cut right here. My mother gets mad every time she sees it. Why did you tell me? She said that every time she sees it. But anyway,
I'll tell you my story about the glass when you finish.
all right, we down there, and we win, right? And I can see why these guys from Hill, they didn't lose that often. Like organized, they played together, whatever. But I was like, when I play with Holloway and them, I could only play defense. They would never let me run the ball, right? So, and I'm like, okay, put me on. I want to be on the line. So I'm like, I got one job. I just got to get in the back. So I'm rushing. I'll never forget this play, man. I'm rushing, and I got a clear shot at Artie, right? He fired the ball, and Holloway's coming from the other side. So picture Haloti Nada, me, and Ray Lewis on the other side, right? So as I'm seeing he's about to throw the ball, so I'm not going to get him. Holloway decides to jump in the air, right? Because he can't stop. You know what I mean? So he's like, he leaps. It's really technically an illegal hit, but because he still had the ball in his hand, Holloway just jumped as far as he could. The ball is gone. Holloway nailed his ass, right? You wasn't going to get there before Holloway didn't care. That's the way he played.
Yeah.
Like every play, he was like, if I get that close, I'm hitting you anyway.
Yeah, when they joined the Baltimore Rams, man, they was something special.
And you know he joined the Rams.
Yeah. Him and his brother.
I think he was better than his brother, though.
Yeah. His brother was younger. Donnell's the younger brother.
Donnell was younger?
Yeah, Jeffrey's the older brother.
I thought he was. Well, did they have a number?
Nah, they had their nephew, which was Magoo.
Magoo.
Nephew.
Magoo used to work at the bowling alley.
Right.
Magoo and Spoon.
Right.
You know Spoon?
Yeah.
So, look, Magoo was older?
Yeah, Magoo, but he was the nephew, though.
I didn't know they was related.
Yeah.
Magoo, it was so funny. He really didn't, he had that fire.
Right.
But he could
play basketball, too, though. That was
he was taller than everybody.
Yeah,
so that's it.
Basketball was his sport.
Man, Spoon was like Daryl Reed. Ed Reed, man. So yeah, I played with them, and me and Nate worked the bowling alley at night, and then Spoon would come in Sunday mornings. And I'm like, oh, so you ain't gonna be able to play, and that was hard to play working all night. But then I'm 16,
right?
Sleep, and it's Sunday. I'm like, if in the summertime it was easy because I didn't have to get up early Monday mornings.
Right.
But then it was like I could only get a job on the weekends and 11 to 7, man. Anyway, it was related, man.
Yeah. They lived right there on Gelston.
He was. Man.
Yeah. But speaking about the glass in the field.
Yes.
We went to Virginia to it was my uncle's birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while we was in Richmond, we went there to DJ. We didn't want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and them, they all grown, they all partying, they ain't coming back home.
Mm-hmm.
So my older cousin, he was like, I'm going home. So me and my cousin Pete, we going home with cuz, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mother gave us specific instruction. Do not come out that house until we get back to Baltimore.
Okay.
So Sunday morning, we in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't leave the house until my mother get back to Baltimore. We were like 14.
Mm-hmm.
We get a phone call. Grandma, talk. Do you mother the parents away in Virginia, or did you go play this game? We gonna play this game. The game is getting good. My cousin Pete, he always wanted to be John Riggins, right? He was running the ball, and Pete gets tackled, right? When Pete gets tackled, he instantly jumps up and start. We didn't live on the same side of the park that you did.
Okay.
We lived on the opposite side, so you know where the alley is right there.
Yes.
He got tackled and jumped up and instantly shot toward the alley. And we're looking like, what in the world's going on?
Yeah.
He wasn't saying that. He was haul-assing. He was getting it. So now I need to find out why he running home, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I got to the house, P had a shard of glass stuck in his back. And he ended up having to take him to the hospital to get the glass out of his back. He ended up getting like 14 stitches, man. So now my mother comes home from Virginia. And I got to explain to her that my cousin got stitches in his back from a football game. Oh my goodness, man. Man, it was so special. My mother was like, I ain't even gonna punish you because that's punishment enough. You shouldn't have been over there.
Was that the same day as that they came back?
Yes. They got it's that evening. And I had to tell her that my cousin was at the hospital because his grandmother had to take him to the hospital. So I had to tell her that he was at the hospital because she was gonna find out anyway.
Right. And you didn't get no trouble. You didn't get in trouble.
That's trouble enough, just anticipating what she was gonna do. Man, I'm gonna tell you, it was. But we had some days over the park, man. We had some days. From the baseball games, the basketball games, we had some fun over
A lot of basketball games, man. And the remember, I don't think I ever played baseball down there. I played a lot of football. I don't think I ever played baseball down there. And
then we did football.
The baseball field is closer than
Stokes Drive.
Yeah, it's way closer. I don't know. I guess
And it's funny because all of the kids on Galveston, all of them was avid baseball players. I'm talking about they all played for the Eli Giants, and all of them were.
But didn't they play? Kevin rode up that field up there. What is that? You go past Stokes Drive, come around, and you make a right. What is that? It's
Rokeby.
Yeah. Because it was leagues down there.
Yes.
Okay. See, it's funny. We played in Arbutus. So.
Oh, your parents had money.
No, ain't no money. That was it wasn't no money. What happened was my father was working out there, and so I went to school out there because he was there. So it was like, okay, he could take me and bring me back, whatever. And I'll never forget, it was second grade, and they brought it was this card that was a permission slip. So it was a card,
the little white card.
Yeah. So they had to sign it. And I was like, yeah, man, they playing, and I didn't care, but everybody in the class was talking about playing baseball. So I was like, Mom, can I play baseball? She's like, you don't know about baseball. I said, but they gonna teach you. That's the way she tells the story. I don't remember that. She's like, you kept saying they was gonna teach you. I was like, well, they I guess they did. But I was just trying to do it because my friends were playing.
Yeah, I got a beating because of that card.
Did you play?
I played for Forest Park, but I got a beating.
How'd you get to Forest Park?
Well, my parents took me.
And you didn't play up Kevin Road?
No, I played at Forest Park. I played at Forest Park Little League on Windsor Road. But I'm going to tell you, I got a beating. This is what happened. One of the coaches...
This is going to be a good story. Let's put this all on you.
One of the coaches that coached at Forest Park was a substitute teacher at Mary Rodman, where I went to elementary school.
Okay.
So he's recruiting all these kids to come, right? And he tells the kids, you got to come to Walbrook High School to sign up, right?
Okay.
So I asked my parents, can I go, right? And they said, yeah, I can go, but they never said, yeah, go ahead and sign up, right? So we're at Walbrook High School, and while we're in there, the young man that I went with, his dad is signing us up. But you got to pay $15 registration to be on the team. Now, say $15 ain't no money.
Right.
We're talking about the late 70s.
Right.
$15 was a lot of money.
Right.
Right. Paid $15 and filled the card out for me to be on the team.
Okay.
Because we was under the impression that you had to fill a card out, pay the money right then and there, or you weren't going to be on the team. Not knowing we could have filled the card out and brought the money back, right?
Okay. Oh,
we leave Walbrook High School. And we get to the house. So now the guy that I was with, his father wanted his money. So now I got to go to the house and tell my father, you owe this man $15 because he wanted me to play baseball. And my father said, ain't nobody tell you to sign up. But I was like, but we had to sign up today. My father said, that ain't what I told you to do. So my father paid the guy his $15, but not only did I get a beating, I got punished. And my father told me he wasn't going to let me play.
Oh, so the money gone, you ain't playing, you got beat and punished.
He changed his mind the day of, when all the Little League started, they had a parade. The day of the parade, my father changed his mind. I couldn't walk in the parade, but he did let me go, and I was able to play in the game. And I tell you, that was some of the best times we had, because my father would get off at like 6 o'clock in the evening. The game started at 5. So on the days I had games, my father would leave work early, get my mom, and they would come to the game. I'm telling you, man, that the days of me being in Foxborough Little League are some very, very enjoyable memories of my dad. That's just another testament of how my parents have always supported me. And
you play? Where were the fields?
Road. Where are y'all now? Right across from Dickey Elementary.
Oh, okay.
Right where the horse stables.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking high school. I'm thinking Forest Park. Right. It's not going to be there.
That's Forest Park High School. Forest Park Little League.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, man, the team that I was on the Yankees. I was on the Yankees the whole time I played at Forest Park Little League. The guy that was our coach, his name was Mr. McCray, right? And we won our first game. The opening day parade, we won our first game. The second game, we got out and it's handed to us. Like, it was nasty. And he cussed us out on the field. Cussed us out on the field. Told us we weren't going to amount to nothing. We weren't going to be nothing. And then quit on us. And the team didn't have a coach. And shout out to Mr. Ray. Shout out to Mr. Ray Lofton. Mr. Ray was just a dad. He didn't know anything about. His son was on the team. He didn't know nothing about coaching the team. But when Mr. McCray quit, what was said to the parents then that they didn't have a coach for the team, and if they didn't find somebody to coach the team, they was going to have to fold the team. And Mr. Ray Lofton stepped up and said, "I'll coach the team. I'll coach them. Don't do that to these kids."
Yeah.
Brought his brother in. And keep in mind, his son was the sorriest kid on the team. But he brought his brother in. He made his daughter, Renee Lofton, the team manager. And we won every game from that moment on. Ended up winning the championship, man.
Wow.
Do you know that's like an unsung story, because all of the kids that was on that team, we like banded together, man.
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Ray was a first-time coach. He wasn't no baseball player. He was just there with his son. And because Mr. McCray quit, he just did it because he didn't want the kids to not be able to come out and play.
Right.
And we ended up winning every game. We didn't lose another game. Won the championship. And guess who showed up championship day, wanted to give us a speech?
The old coach?
Yes.
He wanted to give a speech?
Well, he wanted to give us a speech about endurance and some other crap he was talking about, man. Ain't nobody really sense from him.
Because, man, look, Coach, I've never been a straight up head coach.
Right.
I've always helped my kids when they played. I've always been assistant.
Right.
When they needed one to help. And most of the time, I mean, my sport that I know extremely well coaching wise is baseball. I have 100% confidence on what should be done, what's right, what's wrong, and all that stuff.
I used to harass me on the softball field.
Well, but look, I got that from I was one of my coaches told me to do that one time in Little League. He said, if you could he said, you should talk to the batters. Wow. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just talk to them, just distract them. I don't think he meant for me to do what I was doing. Right. When I did to you, I did as a kid all the time. And I remember I'm in Arbutus. At the time I was playing, there was only a couple of black kids out there at that time. And I remember this boy, I said, and I was whispering, but I was constant. Right. So every time I'm throwing the ball back, I'd say something to him. And I said, yo, man, he's probably going to throw a fastball right here. And then I would start talking just when he was about to swing. The umpire never said anything.
Wow.
So I would just start, but I would yell like I'm not talking to him. And the ball would be admitted. That's it. That's what I'm talking, whatever. So my coach loved it, right? This boy stood out and said, "Will you tell him to shut up?" And I was like, he's telling everybody, and then the umpire said, "Well, you are getting a little loud."
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how bad it was with Troy. My ex-wife didn't know Troy. I mean, I was a kid when I met Troy, right? By the time we went to the Social Security League, we're grown adults. I'm a married man with kids, right? So we were at the game one day, and you play 2 games in the Social Security League, right? So I'm coming up the bat, and Troy is like haggling me, man. He's like trying to have a conversation with me, and when I don't know if I even pop up or whatever it was, it wasn't good, right?
Right. You
My wife was like, "Stop that! You gonna kick his ass or something." And she didn't remember me and Troy like knew each other. She just thought he was somebody from another team, right? It's like he never fails here. Like the minute you come up the bat, Troy always got something stupid to say to you, man. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's stupid, and he just pissed her off.
but you gotta once you look like you got annoyed, I just like I'm gonna keep doing it. Last night I was playing ball last night, and I needed to say something for MG. I meant to tell the WMEG when we started. I was like, sorry I didn't make it, but
Right,
I'll say it again. I'll post it or something. But I was catching, and we were playing against this team called the Panthers.
right,
You probably know because I'm terrible with the names, but a couple of them. Well, I'll say West Side. I won't even necessarily say Village. Could be Woodlawn.
right.
Could be whatever. But I know 2 or 3 of them played at Enrico, like right
Right.
over there. So I know someone in the Social Security League, but I'm terrible with the names. So I'm talking to them, and depending on who it was, I didn't talk to all of them because it's like, we're older now. I didn't talk to all of them, but a couple of them I'd say a little bit too. And it's different because now everybody's acting like they should be on the Orioles. If we had been the Orioles, it would have been years ago. So I would say something, and the umpire call it a strike. Oh, timeout. Now they got to walk around, and she like, and I start, and it would just make them mad. I'm like, dude, you said for it was a strike. It was like right there, and they would look at me, but they would be mad, and then their team. Let me just say this. I just say this on the air, but I'm gonna say it. When every time I played as an adult, when I played softball, if the team is predominantly black,
Hmm.
it's a different atmosphere
Right.
than mixed teams or when you might be the only black. It's a different atmosphere, and everybody rides everybody. And the only thing you can do is everybody's gonna make a mistake.
Right.
The only thing you can do when it's a predominantly black team, if you make a mistake, you just got to be patient and wait for the next guy so they can stop talking about you.
Right.
Right. So this guy, he ball landed. It was clearly a strike. Right. And in softball, a foul ball and 2 strikes is a strikeout.
Right.
Right. So the ball timeout. He's got to walk around, and it's like you kind of showing off, but it happens. They always do it. Right. He came back in. The guy threw the next pitch. The umpire said illegal. That means don't swing at it. It's a ball. He swung at it and fouled it off. His team went in, and he was like, "It's illegal early enough." It was still a bad pitch, right? So he came back up, and I said, "Look, do you want me to say illegal early enough for you?" He got mad at me, right? I'm like, but I mean, well, what you gonna do? You're not gonna. It's not like we're gonna fight. It's not like you're gonna win. I'll put it that way. Put it that way. I'm hitting first, and I'm far
Wow.
closer. Man, I'm too old now, man. Back when I was younger, it was my father and my mother had 2 different philosophies. My father was peaceful. Nah, just walk away. Just try to walk away. My mother's like, if he hits you, you know what I mean? It was totally opposite. And back then, I was like, okay. I might want to fight, but I'm gonna let him hit me first so I can be defending myself. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Now, man, it's like I can't take a chance getting hit first. I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm trying to knock you out in one punch and leave. I'm not trying to keep fighting.
Right.
So if everybody out there, nobody, we got the same amount of people on each side. Somebody's gonna try to break it up, but I am right there next to him because I'm catching.
Right.
So I'm like, if something happens,
You swinging first.
thinking about it, like if he walks towards me, I'm just gonna hit him. I can't take a chance of getting hit first. I don't know what's gonna happen. The balance I used to have. I don't have the stamina for fighting. Your boy doing 3 minutes. That's a long time, man.
Yeah.
It's a long time fighting, and you really fighting for your life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to connect one time, maybe two, but I'm looking for my keys at the same time. That's
time to go.
That's me.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna get back out there and play. I miss softball, man. It was another stress reliever for me.
Cause you like just a fun league team thing. That's all.
I can't play softball, work, and cook these ribs. So
Yeah. And bring a grill out to the field.
Yes, ribs and softball sound like it is.
That's not a bad idea.
Ribs and softball.
Having a team called I Be Smoking. I have no problem with that.
That'd be a great sponsor.
Sponsors will put that on the jersey.
Yes. I mean, you only got to bring ribs to the game we win.
Well, anyway, he ain't gonna know if we win or not until the game over. But
they're trying to calculate that out. Like,
every time somebody get hit, because that's inspiration. Every time you get hit, that sound like a rib. Rock might be on the Orioles with some.
Everybody's so greedy.
Hey, look, we'll put batting gloves on or something. We can work around that, man.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Hey, look, man, we gotta get ready. Look, before we go, can I get one more Philip Bailey? You got anything? We can start. Look, we can start. Look, let me put it on the. Let me put one of these harbor views on it.
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, I need to put the Orioles up there, shouldn't I? Put the Oriole bird.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Because they won today.
Yeah. We put the Oriole bird up there. All right, I'm ready. Oh my goodness, man! Did that take you back, yo?
It did.
Was
Way back. That's before my problem.
I was gonna say, man, if you had said that was your problem, I'm like, Yale lying about being 60.
I'm way before my problem.
That's a bad song, man. So, singers with those high voices, man. Do you have 5 on you, or can you give me a top 5 next week?
I think I can do 5. I can do Philip Bailey. I can do the guy from the Starlight.
Oh, damn. That's a good one. That's a good one.
What's his name from the BJs? From the BGs.
Damn.
The Gibbs.
All of them got this like the barge. He ain't one of those.
Yeah, and the Barge Boy. And L. Is that 4? Well, I do the BGs, that's 3 right there. But individually, I would say very good. Elder Barge, the guy from the Starlight, and of course Philip Bailey. That's only 4 I can come up off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's a good one. I hadn't thought about this. I gotta really think about it. I really gotta think about. It's still gonna be number 1 for me, but I really got because the way he said devotion, and when he does reasons with the saxophone, man, I got that. It's gonna make me think about it, man. Somebody has said to me, Frankie Valli. And I was like, Frank, I had to look it up, but I didn't realize I knew this.
A good one.
Yeah, I didn't realize I knew the songs, but I didn't know who it was. That was it Sherry? Oh, okay.
Why these fools fall in love?
It's Frankie Lyman.
Oh,
The Frankie's mixed up, man. All right, that's another one though. All right, I got to work on this. We never finish our rap list. All right, next week for sure. Be ready, Yale. I need your top 5 dudes. You know who just occurred to me. But I gotta listen to more songs. That dude that sings "Always and Forever." You played that at the birthday party. The guy that does the that guy. I don't know what his name is.
He lost his voice in an accident.
His voice. I remember when they were on
He
Unsung.
was paralyzed. He got his voice back, but his number was never the same.
Oh wow! I remember Unsung, but I can't remember that episode. But I remember watching them, and I remember they had a live version of him singing "Always and Forever," and I was like, "Bruh, that's a back." I remember. Okay, this is one thing I'll say this real quick before we roll. Did you know any of the Barnes? There was 40. Well, there was probably really. It had to be at least 20 of them, brothers and sisters. Their last name was Barnes, so there's like a lot of them. But they lived next door to us, and they were some way older, and they all lived in the same house, man. But there was like Day Day, JoJo, James, Gregory, and then it was like the sisters. So it was like 3 girls, and it was all boys. So like you went out with one of them girls, that was you had to you had your hands full. And the only thing I used to get this is probably telling on me a little bit. I was doing the cornrows, so the older sister, I can't remember her name, but she used to braid my hair, man. That's why I'm worried about pictures of me looking like Shamar Moore. But in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, that's probably how it's gonna look. Somewhere, some family member has a picture of me with my hair in cornrows, man. But I remember it was just to me I was really young, and just to be able to sit between like leg thighs of a girl braiding your hair, that was like a big deal to me. That's a long time ago, but that was in my virgin days. I was like, this is it. And the shit hurt because she braided tight as hell. What like I had I had hair like Yale. You were walking around like Foster Silver. I could have braided Yale shit. Man, you had to have some strong fingers and keeping my eyes open.
Girls hated braiding my hair because it never stayed. My hair is too soft to stay in the braid.
And but you got a lot, man. If it was blinking, it hurt. Yeah, my shit pulled away. But I was gonna say something about that for some reason. I cannot remember. But anyway, man, it was about singing. I want to say his name was Clyde. He was older than us. He would stand out in the basement, like with the door open, just singing. All of them thought they could sing, and they was all trying to hit. He was always doing "Always and Forever," which I didn't. It made me not like the song. The song was old, but I'm like, why is he still doing? Why is he doing that? And they would bounce back and forth between that and Reasons and stuff, man. Reasons was a classic, Always and Forever, and he would do some Marvin Gaye stuff. But hey, maybe he could sing. Maybe I just didn't like it. But anyway, Yale, Foster Silvers himself. You ever see those Foster Silvers? Okay, all right. I was gonna say if I need to post something, let me know. I need to start photoshopping again, man. Okay, so I got your pictures. Yeah, I will make sure because you might not be ready for to come in next week either. You might need another week.
You were able to see. You were able to see the Barkley picture.
Wait a minute, I'll do it real quick while you there. Because now I can actually check shit now. I'm standing and Barkley. You said Barkley's sitting down?
Yeah.
Man, you know I would kill for a picture like this, man. I tried to look. My son, I was going to shave my son's head. And my mother had a fit because Barkley was coming. They were going to play the Wizards. And I'm like, I'm going to put his jersey on. I'm going to shave his head. And I just shaved mine. And I'm like, we're gonna go down there together, both of us in Barkley jerseys, and I'm gonna get an autograph. And I had a hat, and I'll bring it. It's a Phoenix Suns hat, black dude dunking with a bald head. I'm like, it's got to be Barkley. He's got to sign this hat. And I may have told this story before, but what killed it was the game was over. They killed the Wizards. I want to say Barkley didn't even play. He barely played the second half because it was no need. It was like 150 to like 40, something crazy. But I'm like, I'm hanging around.
A typical close Wizards game.
Yeah, oh my God, man, it was horrible, man. And I'm there to see Barkley, to see him play. You know what I mean? He dominated the first quarter, and it was like, oh well. And he was sitting on the side, had a towel around his head, all that shit. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the game, so people leave it. We walking towards the court. Everybody walking the other way, right? So it comes down to me and my son, and he's being interviewed. But he's closer to us, but he's facing the other way. And this girl held up a sign saying, "Kiss me, Charles. It's my birthday." The end. But I'm starting out hope. I'm like, I'm playing the race card. My son Black, he looked like you. She don't look nothing like you. But it didn't matter. He never turned around. And I was trying to get my son to yell. He's like tired. He's like ready to go home. I'm like, boy, just yell, say, please do something. Nope. He's always been hard headed. I'm getting like my mother and start telling stories. This is a great picture, Yale. What was this?
It was 2017.
Wait. He looks. He can still be playing.
He's trying to go up there.
No. Do you love his new commercial with the young Charles Barkley? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
You need to see that one, man. It's the AI Barkley, and he's like, hey, tell me who I want. Now I'm gonna be surprised. It's a great one, man. Don't keep you on anymore, yeah. But look, come up with your top 5 next week. I'm gonna post this one. I need to post this on the page, man. See if anybody makes any comments. And by the way, Rosie made some comment because I posted the stats. So her and her friend Caroline, I want to say her name is, they made comments talking about we got an easy schedule. No, so the Ravens schedule. And she talking about like, we got an easy schedule. Then Rosie came on and said all the Baltimore teams have an easy schedule. I'm like, no, baseball teams play each other. Like we all have the same schedule. And you're in our division, so we play the exact same amount of teams. I'm like, you're just trying to suck up that last place. You may have commented while we're here, but I need to put that out there. So I better try to get some pizza in here first, though, right?
Invite her in next week.
Hey,
invite her in next week.
We got to be playing the Yankees. Yankees already they won the series against us. That might be their only victory since they floating down the bottom. So look, Yale. Not next week or 2 weeks. For you to come in, or we have to wait and see.
We'll see if I can make it next week.
And then I need to somehow get a video of your grilling, and somehow I don't know if I can put that on here, like those crabs right there. If I can somehow scroll around with your I don't know how to do that. And I'm guessing with this, I got lucky with this. Look like I got skills, don't it? Anyway. All right, my man. Don't forget, top 5. What is a tenor voice?
Falsettos.
Top 5. I still think Smokey's in there. But I'm going number 1 because that damn. No, that was Bee Gees. I'm sorry. Yeah, gave me something to think about. Bee Gees. Shine lights. Yo, I got. It's gonna be hard to come up with 5 now. I thought it was easy. Frankie Valli. You talk about Frankie Lyman, but he was a kid. Does that count?
Yeah.
You think it counts?
He still had a hit.
All right. We're gonna see. Keep in mind, he's sitting down and I'm standing up. That's funny. All right, yeah, my man. I'm sorry. You're probably watching.
Brothers, you're not on the flippity flip.
All right.
Are you watching East New York right now? That's probably why you got to go.
No, I'm not. I am not. I'm watching Gunsmoke.
Oh my goodness, man, that's my mother's show. That's my mother's show, man. And it's a Gunsmoke, and I'm gonna let you roll. Gunsmoke is like Law and Order and Miami Vice and New York Undercover. They had so many stars come through that show, man.
Yes, sir.
That I'm sitting there and I'm like, who is this? I'm looking at what's the dude from Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going, I knew this guy, but I couldn't figure it out. And so now I gotta watch it to see the credits. And I'm like, Harrison Ford, man, he must have been like 18. I don't know what year Gunsmoke did those. Well, it was 20 years. That could have been any time. But yeah, man. Thank you, my man.
All right, gentlemen.
I'll see you next in one form or another.
Right.
All right, we'll figure it out from there.
All right. Peace, Yale.
Yes, sir. Back to the brain.
My next guest is a man that's going to put together some grooves that'll make you want to move. Put your hands together for Mr. King.